Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. This will be The Sopranos, Season 3, Episodes 12 and 13. Amour Fou, I'm not going to try to pronounce that one, and then Army of One. Two really great episodes of The Sopranos. Exciting for many different reasons, and I'm not alone on this adventure to watch these episodes tonight. Of course, with me on this adventure is Matt. How's it going tonight, buddy?
Good. I'm excited that we're going to actually get almost halfway through this series, and it only took us like 8 years to do it. So
we've had a few technical difficulties along the way, but it is exciting that after tonight we're finishing off a season. Usually we do one episode at a time, unless we're in the same place, but we're gonna start breaking some rules just to get through this, because as Matt said, we've been at this since I don't even know what if it's 2015, 16, 17, something around.
We've certainly been doing this longer than The Sopranos was on television, I think, at this point.
Exactly, and and us both being moderate completionists, we're excited to get into. I think, okay, for whatever it's worth, Matt, The Sopranos is split into phases, and in some ways, this is the end of the first phase of The Sopranos. Season 4, 5, and 6 have a very different feel, and I'm not saying good, better, or worse. It's just different. It's a little less comedic. It still has its comedic points, but it's a little bit more. You start to see Tony turn a little bit. Chase makes him a lot more unlikable. So you could say and I think essentially in the original plan for the series, if my girl Livia didn't die, the end of this season would have probably ended with Tony killing her. And that would have been like the end of the Tony's mother chapter. So I don't know. We're dealing with two very good episodes. We were talking about this before the show aired. This is Gloria's last two episodes, and it's also Jackie Jr.'s two episodes. That's probably the thing I'm most excited for, Matt, to be done with Jackie Jr.
Yeah, and to see, again, well, I guess I can't really spoil anything at this point. Everyone knows. Spoiler alert, we're going to spoil everything, if you didn't know that. And we see AJ get a little bit of comeuppance, which is always good.
Yes. Absolutely. And we see the Sopranos likes to, or in this season, they did a lot of parallels between people that Tony would interact with and his own kids. We had it with the girl that freaking, what's his name, that Ralphie killed. He saw a lot of connection to Meadow. And in this episode, or in this second episode we're going to watch, he has a lot of connective tissue thinking about how Jackie Jr. and AJ aren't too far apart. And
there's also Gloria and your girl.
Yes, of course. And we get into that. We get a very interesting scene. I was going to put up a poll, like, who's the stupidest character in these two episodes? Is it Gloria for driving Carmela home? Is it Jackie Jr. for just being a nitwit in general? Or is it the dealer, Sunshine, in that card game for not shutting up when he should have shut up? I mean, you got a bunch of meth addicts holding you at gunpoint in a poker game. I don't care who you're connected to. Keep your fucking mouth shut, Sunshine, and give him the fucking money. And Sunshine's talking shit. Even Furio and Chris know to keep their mouth shut, and they're just eyeballing him, waiting for later. While Sunshine is talking up a storm. We'll get into that when we watch.
And he's talking like totally over their heads. Like, you know your audience, Sunshine. They have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. He's making like quotes and stuff, and it's like Jackie Jr. is the brains of the operation. Like, that's how bad that operation is. He's the smart one.
Yep. And he just wanted to go to the shore, Matt, and with his buddies. They should have.
But they had to do it before the crank wore off. That was the important thing.
It's definitely important. Jackie Jr. is the dumbest, says Wolf Spear. Of course, we have with us the La Morgan chat. These things, we don't always have the craziest chats in these, but we always have the best people. And we got Wolf Spear, we got Jake, we got Jay Down, or Jay Down. I combined your real name with your screen name. SM Down, or Jay. We got Killmonger popping on in to say hi. We got Americus, and we got Percy Garcia in the live chat. All of our friends joining us to watch these episodes. If you haven't joined us on one of these before, basically what we're doing is exactly what it says. We're watching the episode live and then breaking it down as we watch it. And we'll take your calls. If you guys want to call in, 781-990-8509. You have any questions or comments during the episode, you can watch the episode with us, but we'll try to give you enough context to what's going on that you can watch this without watching the episode.
Amicus, I do want to comment on what you said because Phil was wrong, so I'm just going to call him out right now. Your reference of the penguin exhibit, that is the 3 inches of water and not 2 feet of water.
And you know what, Matt? Shit on me for doing that because it makes a big difference. Like, the joke that Junior tells is a lot funnier with the inches. Like, it shows that Jackie's really stupid.
Right.
Matt, I mean, we've talked about this subject before, but who cares? We do these so far apart that we might as well just repeat ourselves. Who do you think is dumber when it really comes down to it, or were they just cut from the same cloth and it's 1A, 1B between Jackie Jr. and AJ?
Oh, Jackie Jr. is dumber.
You think Jackie Jr. is dumber? Who's more useless?
AJ.
Okay, so Jackie Jr. can actually... I mean, he pissed himself, but he still drove the getaway car for Christopher.
Listen, there's a lot of dumb people that, like, manage to get by in life, all right? And AJ literally, like, if you dropped him in the world, like, can't survive on his own. So more useless is certainly AJ.
Right. I mean, like I said, Jackie Jr. at least managed to be, he helped in the Jewel concert heist. He was somewhat useful in that situation, as Christopher said. And if you could argue that I'm going to sit here and defend Jackie Jr. here for a second. If Tony didn't get that whole thing about, my father, I promised your father that I wouldn't let you into this business. If Tony had taken him under his wing within the business and given him sort of Christopher treatment, I don't think he would have gone too far, but I don't think he would have made as many stupid mistakes. I think the problem with Jackie Jr. was he has no ability to function in normal society. So but he is, I guess, mildly capable enough to have been a low-end sort of guy like Benny Fazio, criminal mastermind, like a guy on that level in Tony's organization.
No, Benny's way smarter than...
You think Benny's way smarter than Jackie Jr.? But he was gonna be a doctor. He had the medical class. I guess what I'm saying is I think if Jackie was taken along by someone other than, maybe this is a horrible hot take, so to speak, if he was taken under his wing by anybody but fucking Ralphie, he might have had more of a chance. And I'm not saying...
I agree.
I'm not saying he would have been successful, but...
Paulie, we don't know what Paulie was like when he was his age.
Paulie's a dumbass, too.
Paulie definitely could have been as dumb as him and just had the right tutelage and was around the right people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, we got Tony Pajamas in the live chat. One of the best names on YouTube. I love it. We got Wolf Spear, as I said. Jake Cruz says, none of them are smart enough to contribute to fucking society. Doc, psychedelic. It's mycadelic, but I had to say psychedelic to be able to say the name because when I read it, I couldn't read it. But Doc, mycadelic. Some really dumb people even make it to the top levels of government. A lot recently. Wolf Spear says, AJ is useless. Jackie Jr. is too. Without his family and those influences around me, he is working at Abercrombie and Fitch. And I'm going to add, struggling to fold. Like, he can't figure out the folding. Like, Jackie Jr. and AJ would be trying to fold stuff. Jackie Jr. would be knowing himself well enough to be working in the warehouse and not thinking a lot or being and not that people that have these jobs don't think. I'm just saying you can not think and be like a busboy or something. Like, I think Jackie Jr. would be a very good busboy. Like, just you're an automatic pilot, not thinking, just grabbing the stuff, putting it in. So I think he could run errands for Tony's organization. He could be a low end sort of person, but I agree. He doesn't have a...
Well, okay, listen. Perfect equivalent. Fucking Carmine Jr.
Okay.
Like, who literally is the son of a boss. But like, that's who he could be. Carmine's an idiot, but
But Matt, is Carmine really a lion in sheep's clothing? I mean, a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's Carmine. Like, there is an argument to make, and I'm not making it, Matt. But you run the same Soprano circles I do. There's arguments to be made about Carmine Jr. being a secret genius. Do you buy these arguments, Matt?
Well, if that's secret, it's very, very secret.
It's very
okay?
secret.
It's
Keep it secret. It's like a Gandalf. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. It's very fucking secret. I don't know. A busboy has to keep my damn drink full, says Jay Cruz. I don't know if Jackie Jr. could do that. No, Jackie Jr. could be one hell of a busboy. He would be like a really awesome busboy. But I also love how we have freaking we have that scene at the end in the episode with him trying to play chess with the little girl, and they're just like, oh, and you get to see how he just can't even be fucked to think.
He couldn't spell poo. He's not going to play chess.
Can we play checkers with these pieces? Can I ride my G.I. Joe on the horsey one?
I mean, the main thing you got to remember, though, is don't disrespect the pizza parlor, okay?
Yeah. No, he fucking disrespected the pizza parlor, man.
Did.
He really did. And this, of course, is our second episode. I keep talking about the second episode because it'll be a while before we talk about it again. But we also get in that same scene, our Wire cameo with Omar in that scene, who is running the house. I don't know if it is Omar, but we do get one. I don't know if it's the only one. Someone that's smarter than me can correct me if I'm wrong or not. I think, but we do get a Wire crossover, or not a crossover, character or an actor from The Wire and Boardwalk Empire. So, here we go. Let's not waste any more time because we got 2 episodes to get into. Our first episode, Amour Fou. Do you know how to pronounce that, Matt? I have trouble with this one.
Well, let's let Dr. Melfi pronounce it.
Okay, we will. We'll hear what she has to say. This episode is Gloria Trillo gives Carmela a ride home, setting up enraging Tony. Jackie Jr. shoots up a poker game, enraging Chris. Patsy Parisi, and this is from Soprano Autopsy.com. Patsy Parisi makes sure that Gloria will not cause any more problems, while it's up to Ralphie to make sure Jackie Jr. won't cause any more problems.
I mean, it's the best Patsy Parisi scene, but it's like one line,
Tulkus oblique. I know Spanish. I'm Jackie Jr. Yeah.
No, it's oblique is what he said when he was
oblique. It's like a quiche. I know this one. I'm smart. I'm not stupid. I'm smart. Fredo Corleone is a friggin' scholar genius compared to Jackie fucking Jr. And
well, one thing we see. We'll talk about it when we get there. Like we could sit here and do both episodes, but we also see, even when his father's sick and everything after that, I want to see my cousin. He's trying to fill in for his dad. I'm Jackie April's son. We always talk about how much ass kissing there is towards Tony, but you also see how no one shows up at his funeral.
Yep, nobody.
If AJ had died, it would have been around the block.
As Junior said in that scene, as much of a dumb fuck as that kid was, if Jackie was still boss, this place would be packed.
Yeah.
And regardless of what the kid did. And that's what it's unfair, but it is what it is. That's why they also didn't shoot anybody. Feach didn't press the issue because no one died. But why Tony and Jackie did the same thing.
By the way, I have huge continuity issues with the Feach story in here, with who Feach really was when we meet him later on, and none of that makes sense. The fact that they didn't get in trouble for it, but that's
that the kids in that Jackie.
Yeah, and they say Feach was a mustache from the old country who got made over there. Like, I don't get that impression. Feach seems like he's from friggin' Jersey and wasn't made over.
He seems like he was battling Sylvester Stallone in some sort of arm wrestling situation, or something was going on.
Yeah, Wolf Spear. That is an excellent point. It was during Super Bowl weekend.
Yep, it's my busy time, Carmela. It's my busy time. I gotta get out of here. Okay, so let's not waste any more time. We haven't talked anything about Gloria also not making the brightest decisions in these episodes, and I guess a question going into watching this first episode is Melfi right? Did she ultimately try to commit suicide by cop here, essentially, and pissed after a certain point when she knew Tony would never realistically leave his wife, and her switch shifted in the other direction? Was she ultimately trying to get Tony to kill her? And she did the things that she knew. Did she slash her own tires? Did she did she drive Carmela simply to show Tony that she could knock down his whole house of cards and get him to threaten her? Like when he's choking her out, she's like, please do it. Like, did she want him to kill her?
Phil, you and I know some crazy people, and specifically we know one person that I'm referring to when I talk about this person. I don't think it's conscious. I think it's like subconscious. Her crazy is just very well guarded, but like I don't.
You don't think
I
it's
don't think she's like,
decision?
I want him to kill me. I just think like she just thinks it's normal.
Yeah. This is normal, and we're going to make up afterwards, and it's going to be a normal situation. I would 100% agree with you. And
she's just like, she's too crazy to like actively say, I want him to kill me. It's just like, that's almost the inevitable result of her actions without realizing it.
Yeah. No, excellent point, Matt. How is this standard procedure? Wolfspear, keep in mind the funerals are in the... Gloria had a death wish. And exactly, I think that's a better way of saying it, Wolf. She had a death wish that she was always liked walking that fine line because she didn't care about herself. Uncle D in the live chat here out there in Studio 11. Hey guys, Uncle D here. Hope you're well. Had to check in to show my support and here's some good Sopranos banter, but a banner too. There's a banner on the screen. Banter. What asks? What is the comment in the live stream? Who's the comment in the live? No, what is the comment in the live stream? Sorry, I rewatched Who's on First for the first time in a long time. It still holds up. Who's on first? Good bit. Anyways, what?
Very timely too, Phil. I mean, it's 2023.
It really is. It's very tight. What are you talking about, Matt? You know, there's another one of those that was done in the. Sorry, off subject for a second.
I was gonna say, like, we really took a weird turn here. Now we're not even talking about Who's on First anymore. We're talking about an offshoot.
You're talking about an offshoot song that was played on the Dr. Demento show about rock bands in the 70s, like the Who. Who's the Who? It's the same joke.
And the Guess Who.
The Guess Who. Yeah, exactly. It's funny though. Anyways, what says, is it finally time for Army of One? Apex Twins in the end credits. I waited for this.
It is. Army of One is the last episode.
Aphex Twins.
I don't remember this Aphex Twin. We'll see. I don't remember. Because I thought it led out with Corrado's song, but it must be after that.
It switches over. They do sort of a...
yeah, that's really dumb, but we don't need to get into that.
They do a crossover.
That's really dumb.
So we'll get into it. Matt, are you ready for Amour Fou?
Yeah, now everyone, we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and then we hit play. So Phil and I are both watching on HBO Max. He's going to say 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to hit play at the same time. My sound is going to be off. I will be watching it. Hopefully, Phil and I are synced up enough that I can hear what's going on.
Yep, and right now I'm looking at Christopher Moltisanti in this douchebag's face right now on the screen. So
I don't see that. I have nothing.
Oh, you have nothing. I have the two of them. I have these two dumbasses. Okay,
right,
here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, Phil, I think we're perfect.
Are we good? No, I think we synced. And the music kicks in. Here we go. There's no recap here, guys, but we got the Sopranos music. Let's get into the live chat. Wolf says, we all have dated that one crazy. Mine stabbed me in the hand because I was talking to her sister to plan her birthday party. Apparently, I shouldn't have spoken to her sister. So, yes, we all have dated that crazy person. We all have that crazy memory.
And you don't realize it because you get caught up in the crazy.
Matt,
you're crazy.
I was going to also add that we probably have all been the crazy person.
Yeah, I've been the crazy person.
I have too.
100%.
I have too. I've been Gloria. I've walked that, not in that line, but I've walked the fine line.
That's why I don't understand how people got like my grandparents got married as young as they did. It's like, don't you have to realize what crazy is for yourself and other people like several times?
Yeah, my grandmother married my grandfather at like 19 or something like that.
I don't understand how people do that because like I couldn't. I'm still not fit to be married yet. Somehow I have been, but like
your wife's really awesome.
Sure. If she was, she wouldn't be married to me. Let's be real.
But here we go. This episode is written by David Chase, as always, Frank Renzulli, and directed by friend of the show Tim Van Patten. He's not really a friend of our show, but I hear podcasts saying that all the time, Matt, and for once I wanted somebody to be a friend of our show. No one, I mean, we get the live chat, but no one in the Sopranos staff is friends with.
A lot goes on in these 2 episodes.
It really does, and a lot to finish off this season if you really stop and think about it, as we start out with this scene with Carmela, And Carmela is really, I think we're setting up for Edie Falco's best season, which is season 4. I'm not saying she's not great in the first 3 seasons, but she really starts opening up her acting game in season 4 with the breakup of Tony and her.
They do a great job of writing the relationship between these two as well. Like, it's a realistic how much they annoy each other, but are still each other's best friends. Like, they're still at an art museum together, but they don't get each other.
Yeah,
but,
Matt, I would agree with you 100%. I feel like out of all the combinations of the parents and the kids, her and Carmela work the best together.
Yeah.
I like when it's her and Gandolfini, it's
well, their relationship sucks, but
the acting is believable.
The realistic, like the realism of what it would really be like between a mother and a daughter at that age with very different aspirations.
Yep. 100%. And in the way she sort of outsmarted Carmela or passed her on the smart scale for doing this like character smart scale here. Meadow passed her at 17 when she stopped taking meth from Christopher and hanging out with Meadow Scancarello.
Yeah, and you see her go through those weird phases where like she totally wrote off her dad's life and everyone involved with it and all the people in his world, and then goes back to Jackie Jr. and embraces that and gets defensive of it in the last episode of the season when they're in the kitchen together.
So we get this ongoing dynamic with Carmela where art and music and all these things really emotionally affect her, or religion, even anything really.
I was gonna say with religious overtones to it,
and it's because she is like Carmela's whole morality, Matt, is basically like an egg trying to balance on a toothpick. She has so much built-in guilt and culpability too for the life that she's built with Tony, that if anything reminds her of due north, so to speak, she loses her shit. She loses, all hell breaks loose, and she can't comprehend it, can't deal with it. And this is all an ongoing arc, one of the longest going arcs throughout the series of The Sopranos, from episode 1 almost through season 4, and then showing the realistic nature of it as she wraps back around and Tony charms her again and manipulates her back into the situation. And
while almost banging a priest in the beginning of it too.
Yeah, almost banging a priest, banging the teacher, who maybe if that teacher hadn't not been able to deal with Carmela's bad qualities and could work on stuff, and he wasn't sort of a player and wanting to just, have sex with Tony Soprano's wife, I think maybe she would have had a chance, but I think Carmela needs to.
Now, just to recap, the last thing we saw between the two of them was him showing up after Pine Barrens. No, before Pine Barrens, but very late. It was the whole Pine Barrens night.
Yep, and it was when she threw a steak at him.
Right.
And I've talked about that before. I talked about that last time. The actress couldn't hit it, and the stunt people couldn't hit it, so Steve Buscemi actually threw the steak at him. Tony does give her another chance in this scene, but he probably should have gone to his initial instincts and just stayed away at this point, because he's had enough time with Melfi that the automatic pilot of her being Livia-ish to him. Do you think she really is like Livia, or do you think that's just the way Tony interprets it and takes in the information? Does she really remind you of Livia at all? She doesn't really remind me of. She's not the same kind of crazy.
No, because she's not, at the end of the day,
mean.
She's not dependent, and Livia's very dependent.
And she's also not mean. Livia's mean. I don't think Gloria's mean. I think Gloria's a good person that's just gets confused and overwhelmed.
I mean, that's a little.
What have we seen, honestly, Matt? What have we seen from Gloria to show that she's not a good person?
She gets in the car with Carmela and makes all these snide comments saying, like, at least your daughter won't have to rely on a guy while going, like, 80 through a residential area.
Okay, that's scary, but that can all be wrapped up with someone that's not emotionally secure with themselves in a high emotional situation. She didn't kill Carmela. She didn't threaten her. She didn't say. She just wanted to walk close to the sun because she was emotionally. I'm just saying, like, right. I don't think she's bad.
If you take her mental illness out of it, I don't think she's like a malicious person. And I think Livia's a malicious person.
Mental illness or not, Livia's just a shit person.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Olivia's just mean. It was the "oh poor you." Yeah, Americus. I'm not saying that was the line that definitely was supposed to.
Listen, she should have been pissed at Tony. She made him a nice meal and he said he was going to come over like a bunch of times and he didn't. Like,
and then he makes up some excuse going to the woods with his
Yeah.
like what the fuck kind of shit's that? So his guys get lost in the woods. I think it's hilarious, fucking hilarious, and Melfi unfortunately gets or not unfortunately because Gloria's fate, it's unfortunate, but it's before that. Tony's looking at Melfi through all of this since he's told her about Gloria. Like, Melfi's jealous and looking at him like, this could be, I wanted this to be me. Like, he's talking to her in the way he smiles about it. Like, he thinks he got one over on his therapist. And she gets it back at the end of this episode. Like, when he comes in, he's like, what the fuck? She's like, She like, it's the happiest she's ever to throw shit in Tony's face. And there's many times where she likes it a little bit, but she loves it. Like, she loves what she's holding over Tony right now because she knows it's going to go to shit. She's like, this is going to be so fucked up.
I don't think she wants it to, though, because I think she knows it's the end of Gloria. I don't think she thinks
Gloria will kill herself.
No.
But I don't think David Chase.
I think she also knows, like, these two people don't belong together.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is one of those situations where if, like, say you told me, hey, dude, you know, don't go near this person, you know, like, I know, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna go there, and then and you're like, oh, this is filling that person or oil and water. That's gonna go bad. And you sit back and you watch it and it goes bad. You're gonna be like, huh, fucking motherfucker, but you didn't listen to me.
I know. I will definitely give it. I told you so.
You would,
but primarily because the problem is, like, she has to deal with it. Like, Melfi has to sit here and listen to this bullshit from probably both of them.
Oh,
it's so fine that you said oil and water because that's his line right there. We're like leather and lace, oil and water. Me and this girl.
Yeah.
But you know he can handle it because he's a captain of industry type. You know.
She's one of the three Sopranos, the Trillos. They weren't as successful as the tenors, but she's one of the historic Trillos. I am a Trillo, yes I am. It's really good stuff. Okay, so we get into. I don't mean to keep bringing up this tired old way of saying it. Is Jackie Jr. and this dumbass dumber than Bevilacqua and the other dumbass? Like that's a contest. Like if the four of them had to compete in an escape room, like who's getting out first?
Oh, Bevilacqua and the one that, like,
it was all his fault. It was all
the one that Christopher shot. No, not Brandon. Brandon was
Christopher's friend. It was all him. He did it. It was all blah. Like whatever that guy's name. But those two versus these two. I don't know. That'll be a tough competition. That would be like a skills competition.
Those two guys, I think, made it a little further because they were at least running. You know, they were in on Wabistics. I mean, they almost ruined it, but they were like. They had advanced further in their career. We'll put it that way.
And I guess Jackie probably would have advanced that far if he wasn't roadblocked by Tony to a certain extent. He's probably that good.
Sure, and he has a more inside route than being those two idiots.
Exactly. So he would have got a more cushy job at Wabistics. He would have got like a Tony B job, like the massage parlor or something, or not the massage, the poker. Wabistics. So Tony
with the dad jokes here.
Yeah, Tony's hilarious. And I think she's my favorite Tony Gumar because
I don't want to consider her a Gumar. I think this is the only one that Tony would have
left Carmela for?
Yeah. Given the right situation.
Okay. This is my favorite Tony partner other than Carmela because she's the only one in an alternate universe of The Sopranos. She could have played Carmela. I think she's really good in this role and Edie kills it in Carmela. But if this actress, I'm blanking on her name, people can tell me in the live chat or in the comments, if Anna Lynn, something like that. She could have.
Jamie Lynn Sigler.
No, wrong one. The actress and James Gandolfini have enough chemistry that they could play husband and wife in a really dynamic way. And unfortunately, if Gandolfini didn't pass, maybe we would have seen something. Maybe they would have worked together again because
maybe we wouldn't have to have seen the Many Saints in Newark as well.
Oh God. Oh my goodness. I mean, we would have seen something similar, but Gandolfini would have been in it and it wouldn't have been crap. We would have seen the trial of Tony Soprano cut with Tony Soprano as a kid and the death of Dickie Moltisanti. And somehow he would have clashed those two things together with Tony remembering all the shit he did, because if Tony didn't die, he would have been going to jail, or at least faced with a case, because Carlo flipped on him and so many other people flipped on him. And some of those stuff we'll see when we get there, but people don't remember when they talk about that end. Even if he didn't get shot, if you were one of those few people that are still around that believe he lived through that, they exist. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm just saying because we don't know. But if he, I think honestly, I've said it many times. I think what Chase was trying to do wasn't to try to do a choose your own adventure, an artistic thing. He was trying to have his cake and eat it too. He was trying to set up an ending that if Gandolfini wanted to do it again, and he could talk him into it in a couple of years, he could come back to the project and do a trial of Tony Soprano thing. And if not, it could always be left up in the air that Tony died. And unfortunately, Gandolfini passed, and that, it forced his hand, so to speak, unfortunately. But I do think he wrote it that way because he wanted to talk out both sides of his ass and leave the door open for the possibility of bringing Tony back, and also have an example if he didn't want to do that. So, and I do think Gandolfini would have gone back.
An interesting thing that happens here, I'm completely unrelated to what you just said, but it happened in this scene, because Tony does this several times throughout this show. He tells her many times when she said in the garage, "Oh, I have so much going on." And he's like, "Well, you can talk to me about it." She's like, "I didn't want to bother you." So here she tries to talk to him about it. She starts talking about her nephew. And the first thing Tony does is say, "Yeah, we had a Santa Claus down at the shop. He didn't work out at all." Like, he immediately turns into something about him. He does it when he's with Hesh at the end of the show, too. He shows up at Hesh's house at like 2 in the morning, and Hesh starts going, and Tony just like makes it.
He doesn't.
They're about to disrespect the pizza parlor.
He doesn't do. And before we get to that, oh my God, he's disrespecting the pizza. Bad. He's disrespecting the fuck. I can't stand this shit. Someone did this to me at our pizza parlor, and Vinny slammed his fist down on the table and kicked that dude out because he tried to fuck with me in the pizza parlor. But Tony, to that, and I just did it right there, Matt. You just described to a T Tony's narcissistic personality disorder. Like, I don't want to get into a whole like specific or whatever, or fuck disorder. Tony's a fucking narcissist. He's a selfish prick. He doesn't want to hear anything. He doesn't want to hear anybody's problems. Not a single person's problem, but he wants to think of himself as the type of person that would listen to anyone's problems. Because I do psychology. Like, Tony talking about both sides of his ass. Tony is constantly talking out both sides of his fucking rectum. He wants to be the nicest guy in the world, and then he wants to be Larry David and have everyone in the world leave him alone, and just be like fuck. Oh, people. He doesn't want the happy wanderer. He wants to punch the happy wanderer in the fucking face. Annabella, thank you. Like, why are you disrespecting the fucking pizza place, dude?
By the way, I just finished. Complete side note. I just finished watching White Lotus season 2 last week. Really, just weird seeing Christopher in a different.
I've heard good things about that. Was it worth my time?
It's nothing like this. It's very weird and different, but well done.
No, I take what you say about shows very carefully because you don't watch a lot. So when you pick to watch something,
it's a good show. It's not life changing. It's definitely worth watching.
Excellent.
It's only 2 seasons of like 6 or 7 episodes. It's quick. It's easy.
I've watched. Speaking of other shows, while we're dealing with Carmela getting ready to go home with Gloria here, I've watched the first 2.
Like, just that look on her face right there, the way she changes, you just like, that's the crazy.
If you're a fan of Scrubs or Ted Lasso and you like Bill Lawrence type stuff, there's a new series called The Shrinking with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel that is very good. It's on Apple Plus thing, which also gives people an excuse to watch the series Severance. So if anyone out there has Apple and they want to check that out, check that show out. I'll do a more detailed review of it later.
I love the what do you hear, what do you say when you have you watched Severance, Phil?
Yeah. Oh yeah. One of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Agree.
Excellent. One of the best shows in many years. That may be life-changing. Like probably one of the best shows I've seen in.
And you've never in your entire life been more surprised by who the brains behind the whole thing is, being Ben Stiller, and you're like, wow, he made that.
Yep. So as we get back to the Sopranos here with this scene, and absolutely, Matt, when Severance comes, I'm gonna make you do a Severance podcast with me when it comes back. So or at least one at the end of the season. So so we got Carmela and Gloria driving back, and Gloria, you were hinting at this earlier. Does Gloria have nefarious interests by doing this, or is she like, what's she hoping to accomplish?
She's saying fucked up stuff to her right
now. What's
she
hoping to accomplish? Is she trying to lay the seeds?
She's commenting on the ring.
Is she trying to start a fight?
At least, what do you do for work? She knows very well what she does for work.
So, but what I'm saying is, even within her
she just wants to feel better about herself.
Right. Is that her tactic? Is her tactic that she wants to beat up on Carmela to feel better about herself? Does
Carmela know she's being beat up on?
No, Carmela thinks she's complimenting her. She even says to Tony later when she calls her, because then she doubles down.
What a nice woman, yeah.
What a nice woman this Gloria Trillo is. Like she's way above Carmela's head. Carmela doesn't have Carmela's the type of person that wants to seem cool, so the fast driving she won't say anything about the fast driving. She's like, ooh, I did something risky today.
Well, and again, it's a car that you would, if you're trying to sell it, you'd want to drive it fast for the person.
Right. And out there in those pages, Carmela is like so catered to her ego. It's like the Eddie Murphy joke. You just catered to someone's ego. Like Carmela's ego was catered. So all she's seeing is, this woman liked me. Like she doesn't care. I made a friend. She's fucking like,
yeah.
If you're married to Tony Soprano, again, I'm not like taking off Carmela from some of her culpability and all this shit, but like, seriously. Okay, so here we go. This is a big scene. This is one of Joey Pance's best scenes in the entire series of The Sopranos. He's so subtly good. It's a shame he doesn't look back on his time on the show fondly. I think he had some contractual issue with them using his severed head without paying him or something. Like I forget exactly what it was, but he watched an episode. He didn't tell him the severed head was going to be on. He watched it with his kid, and he was like, or like his little nephew or something that's like lost their shit. Like, I don't know. I've heard some stuff about Joey Pants not loving his Soprano memories, but he's such a good little actor.
How off is it right here with the Many Saints of Newark with he's talking about him and Silvio.
Yeah, we didn't see Ralphie, did we?
No, but he says him and Silvio and Jackie as if they're all one crew, and I don't get the impression from Many Saints that they were.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if they didn't plan that stuff before they before the series happened. It's almost like David Chase is just pouring wine and making shit up.
An old mustache, Feach.
Okay, do you think that David Chase? Because everything I've heard him admit the thing with Feach Lemon that they were just making names up. They never really thought about who Feach was. Do you think that they planned that Gloria was gonna at one point kill herself, or that's something that they couldn't get Annabelle back and they wanted to get her back and then they decided to write off her character? I'd love to hear if that was planned right at this point too, after this episode, that she was going to commit suicide after what happened with.
The problem with her is that you can't keep her in the show because. Where do you go to after this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unless you have her be really crazy and really tactical and manipulative and form a friendship with Carmela and not, or...
Well, yeah, but he would know because she wants him to know secretly, weirdly. And then she's going to die. And the thing you got to remember is it won't be cinematic when she goes.
That's not the face that she's going to be looking at the end.
Yeah, no.
Now here we go. Does fucking Jackie do all of this? Do they actually do this because Ralphie sort of queued this up for them? Like,
I don't understand how Tony and them didn't get their asses kicked. Didn't get killed.
They were Johnny Boy's kid. I mean, that was Johnny Boy's kid. They were not going to do anything to him.
Yeah, but Feach was an old mustache from the old country. He was made on the other side.
I mean, someone had to pay. You figure that Johnny Boy probably had to pay out of his pocket for them, and probably bought them. Basically bought that little crew, and was like, oh, okay, I'm going to buy that crew and take in. Do you know what we need, Matt? We need Many Saints too.
No. The search for more saints? No, I'm all set.
The search for more money.
Well, and we know that Ray Liotta won't be in it, so.
Don't you want to see Gandolfini's kid play Tony Soprano again and do that amazing accent?
If they're gonna do it, the whole
he was the best part. He was actually the best part.
The whole problem with the show was that they made it into a 2-hour thing and not a. Like, you can't take something that gets explained over these long periods of time and then make a 2-hour thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's been said. I'm not saying Many Saints was a lot of great stuff there, but if they had taken that whole 2 hours and given us a 9-episode arc, it would have been better.
With a different Silvio Dante.
Oh, that dude was comical. That was comical. That was just silly. They should have had Benny Fazio.
The Passion of the Saints.
The Passion of the Saints. Yeah, part 2, The Passions of the Saints. I think it's happening, John Haymaker. The people are happening.
So hold on. She did slash her own tires.
She slashed her own fucking tires, Matt. I've said this for weeks.
How did they not realize it when he went in the house?
She must have done it before she must have snuck out, or she did it like.
He didn't realize it.
He didn't realize it, because are you gonna look when you're coming into someone's house that you're coming to
No, not at night.
For Bangtown at night? Are you gonna look? No. She fucking totally slashed her tires. I almost want to start a new poll right now, but whatever. People in the live chat that are watching with us or listening. Thumbs up or thumbs down or yes or no, whatever symbol you want to show your positivity or your fucking negativity. I don't care what emoji or.
Arena doesn't have it in her to get over there and make this even happen.
No. But in fairness, to your point, Matt, Arena does motivate more chaos directly. Like, who knows how far Gloria would have taken it, but I don't think Gloria ever would have actually told Carmela. Freaking, what's her name? Arena, when Tony fucked the one-legged one, she fucking calls AJ, and calls Carmela and basically says, I fuck your husband. I used to and he fucked the one-legged girl too. Like, I don't think Gloria would have done that. I think Gloria would have just tickled the twine, so to speak. The search for many more money. She can really argue. The dysfunctional human in my body is so fucked uply turned on by Gloria's banter. Like that I'm like, oh my goodness, I see what he likes about her. Like, I see in the smile, like the smile she gives. Did you really hit her? Like, and I think at that point is where she starts to formulate the thought of, if I'm not going to get what I want out of this situation, I'm going to get what I need or what I think I need out of this situation, which is the direct influence of pain. If I'm not going to get pleasure out of this, I'm going to get pain.
Or just keep it going. As long as you keep the emotions running high. That's the thing, is you just got to keep it, keep the drama going in some way.
And Marcus, absolutely, Tony was so dysfunctional with that situation too, that Arena was dating the congressman and he went in there and whipped the shit out of him. That might have been the first Sopranos episode I ever saw, actually. Was the episode, it's in season 4, we're going to get to it sometime in the next decade. And we're going to, probably pretty soon, I think. I think it's one of the early episodes of season 4. I think that's when
Can I tell you a story that has nothing to do with the Sopranos, but it's equivalent to what you just said? Well, it's not even equivalent, but I was telling this person I work with about this today. Have you ever seen Parks and Rec?
Yes.
The very first episode I ever saw. So imagine no reference to the show. The first episode I saw was the one with Ron Swanson getting cornrows. It's the most out of left field episode ever, and that was my first experience.
Yeah, it's interesting when you see that. It's like seeing Take Me Out to the Hall Suite for the only Deep Space Nine episode. It's a baseball episode on a Star Trek show, Matt. The whole episode's about baseball. I could show it to you out of context, and you'd be like, oh, okay, I like this episode. But any sci-fi fan would be like, wait, what the fuck? This is Star Trek? What the fuck?
Right.
So these dumbasses just decide to fucking rob the card game. And
but that's the other thing. There was no planning. This literally, they were just with Ralphie.
And then they go home and jerk off together watching Basic Instinct.
Yeah.
And then decide, oh no, we'll rob him next week.
Shout out to Newman here.
Yeah, Newman. Oh my goodness. I can't believe indirectly, there's so many movies of that age that were tried to be NC-17 and they cut out like violent stuff. And Basic Instinct, just an R-rated movie, you know. Get full frontal.
Sharon Stone, whatever happened to her in Casino? One of the best
Great
acting jobs ever.
She pops up occasionally and stuff, but it's hard when you had some of those most amazing performances. Also, Total Recall is another great Sharon Stone performance. One of the best one-on-one fights with Arnold in his career, like seeming like she could actually kick Arnold's ass. And I love watching her beat the shit out of him in Total Recall. That was probably I think that was the first movie I saw Sharon Stone. John Haymaker, I was talking about that earlier in the stream, and I'm gonna mention it like 100 more times when it fucking happens here. The fucking Sunshine is his name. Sunshine might be dumber than Jackie Jr. And I maybe not, but Sunshine definitely should have kept his goddamn mouth shut. When you got the friggin' tweakers sitting there, fucking shaking.
I know, like I don't know what his
goal was.
Yeah, well, what are you trying to accomplish?
When you're a snail inside an inside world, Matt, the intellectual stimulation of the negative power drowns you out through humanity. You're just saying shit like that. I don't know what he's saying exactly.
When people lose their heads, it's like, what are you talking about right now? Like you're making everyone crazy.
Yeah, like shut up, Sunshine. Listen to Christopher. Christopher's like, shut up, and he's just like, wait, if you can hold your hat in places when you're falling down, then don't, then don't ride the roller coaster of life. It's like, shut up. Oh, we got the wonderful, amazing Steph Snow in the live chat. Hey, just popping in to say hi to you in the chat. Thank you, Steph Snow, for popping on in and saying hi. I'm sure, hopefully, I'll see you on Sunday. If you aren't joining us, Sunday evenings at around 10:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Joe Dirty Locks and I are talking about The Last of Us every week, so we'll be back on Sunday evening.
Amicus, I'm with you that's what his thought was, but like, of all the people that shouldn't be opening their mouth, it's him. Anyone else there could have confused him, especially I'm assuming that the people in that game must have assumed that they didn't know who would be robbing them, because anyone dumb enough to rob them wouldn't know who they are.
Yeah, it's true. But Christopher makes him right away. I mean, we'll talk about that in a second as we're getting into it. But okay, this is the second scene that we've seen like this. The first one is Carmela goes to a therapist that was recommended by Melfi, who basically tells her to leave Tony, run.
Yeah, one of your people. She doesn't really want to listen.
Yeah, just run as fast as you can. Run! And now she's going to a this is another therapist, right? Or is this a priest?
This is the priest. She goes to confession. See, we were talking right through it. She goes to confession, and he says in the middle of confession, would you be more comfortable in my office? And we put the
and then they go back. Right.
And she knows, because Father Ensign told her, or someone told her, that this guy is getting a doctorate in psychology. So she figures this would be like
a good middle ground.
Exactly. If she can get someone with a background in psychology and someone who's obviously probably like not just a Catholic priest, but a learned Catholic priest who really understands it from a theological and philosophical standpoint.
Right, and he tells her what she wants to hear, essentially. Like you can make it work. Make it work. We'll figure it out. Essentially, right? That's what he basically said. We did kind of talk over it, but he
says, yeah, you got to make it.
Do as far as you can do.
And live on the part that comes from that's not based on crime.
And you know what this ultimately leads into with fucking Carmela's decision is that she takes the ring off. She takes the gaudy ring off.
Right, because she knows that can blood money. It may also be why she tries to make business ventures later, because if she can make legit business ventures, she's not living off of Tony's blood money anymore.
Yep, absolutely. But she'll still steal fucking 40 grand from the bird feeder. Sorry, I sound demented.
This is so fucked up. Why is she doing this?
Dude, this real Tony. I just call you Joe. Tony. I just called you Tony.
And then she gives the last little thing at the end. Maybe your husband wants to buy it.
Matt, I just realized I'm like my old grandmother that I just called you my two co-host names before I finally got to you. I'm like Joe, Tony. Matt. Sorry, like I called
That's
you.
fine.
I called you all my favorite co-hosts.
I'm gonna assume you were calling me Tony Soprano, so I'm okay with it.
No. I called you Joe, and then I called you Tony. But no, because I am getting buzzed. So yeah, what the hell was she thinking? And Gandolfini, this is some of the best acting he does in the entire series. As he finds this out, like everything he does internally in the scene to like build up the rage. Right here. He's so good. He is so goddamn.
When he says right here, yeah, another year.
Yeah, another year. Yeah. Yeah. And then he's like, I am going to fucking destroy it. Like I'm not laughing that he's gonna do this, but again, these are characters, not real people. He just runs in like he does not give a fuck.
This is one of the craziest that you see him with a straight guy, with a not with other mafia, not with other people. Like this is a fucked up thing
with a civilian
in public, right?
Oh, John Haymaker.
But it just shows how much she has, like, the power that she has over him to get, like, very few people could get him to do this.
Can we introduce Steph Snow to like Benny Fazio, criminal mastermind or something? She wants to live off some blood money. She'd be a mafia, a great mafia wife. And she's like, that's.
Well, I mean, if you plan on marrying Jackie Jr., you get about 20 minutes left. So that shit goes way downhill quickly.
I love
buddy there.
Matt. Before we get past this scene, as much as yes, this is as crazy as he goes for a civilian, she owns him right here. As an actress and as a character, she is in full control of the situation, getting what she wants. She is so fucking happy right now. You've not seen a person this happy when he puts his hands on her. Like she got exactly what she wanted out of that situation. We asked what she wanted. We asked what her motive was. That for whatever fucked up reason, her mind triggered that was going to be the success shot. That was going to be the way to get engagement with him. And if we keep doing this, bam, bam, bam. If we keep going, Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd moonlighting, Sam and Diane, cheers. I'm dating myself, but whatever. Eventually, Hepburn and Tracy, if we finally, there'll be that embrace eventually. And
I love that line right there. He goes, "Who's Feach LaManna anyways?" Yeah. So here, it's Jackie Jr.'s the one that really is pushing it.
He is.
And then
it flips off because
when they get in the car, he's like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah. Exactly. Kiss Steph Snow's ring, everybody. I'm sorry. There's our girl. Rosalie Aprio. If I was in the mafia and I could have any of the mafia wives that we see on the show, just for the support and the kind of people that they seem like that they probably were for the life I lived, Ro would be the one I would pick. Ro seems like she would have the best life romance balance in knowing the separation. We didn't see a lot of her and Jackie, but like it seems like she understands the life more than Carmela does. Carmela, she's not as conflicted more moralistically as Carmela at least props herself up to be, and Gab seems to be kept in the dark a lot by Syl. So,
and I also think that like, I don't know if Carmela knows the nitty gritty of what really goes on.
No, and you feel like Rosalie knows what goes on. Like she's got. I keep mentioning Benny tonight, but she's got like some of the guys coming over to her house and telling her stuff that's going on in the family. Like she knows her shit. She knows what's going on. She is down. She is completely down.
Well, listen, does Adriana count or not? I mean, I'm just
okay. If Adriana wasn't a ratty rat. If Adriana went to fucking Christopher and actually talked to him about it after it happened, like with Mutash or whatever the guy's name was, with the guy that dies in the fucking club, if she had like told Christopher about that situation and not let the feds fucking deal with their situation, yeah, of course we can pick your girl Aid, Matt. But forget the fact she's a fucking rat.
Of the four at the table, I'm with John Haymaker, Angie Pomponsero. I think she's she runs her own business. Like, she's the only one. Like, what the fuck is Ro doing with herself except feeling sorry for herself?
And to
dating Ralphie again.
And to go that step further on that one, Matt, to back up John Haymaker and you in this situation, she not only starts a business eventually and uses the money that Tony gives her to sort of set herself up to realize she can't just count on him. She also manipulates Tony for a while, like getting more money, going to Carmela and trying to get money for the dog that isn't sick, and like extra money while driving around in a Cadillac and shit. And like she has the balls to challenge Tony and try to fuck with him until he shows up at her house and bashes the car with.
Well, I mean, if what we're going by is who fucks with Tony the most, then I guess that means the mafia wife I want is Janice. But I don't think
no,
really.
Janice would kill you in the night. You argue with Janice the wrong way, she's shooting you. So Gloria cries her way into seeing Tony one more time, and this situation is the last straw. But,
well, yeah. At this point here, you're just like, what?
I've been here.
Why did he go over there?
Matt, I've been in both of these situations. I've been the person screaming for the partner to come over, and I've been the person that came over and not sure why I did it. Maybe in the same night. But no, I've definitely been both people in this situation. Do you know why you go over?
But have you been a mafia boss who was married when it happened?
No. I'm not that big of a cheater.
That's sort of the problem, is like he's
That's not my thing. But
he does love her though, and that's the
Yeah, but Tony has an ability because of his business to compartmentalize in a way that whatever. And I'm not absolving him for his action of cheating on his wife. What I'm saying is he's thinking about this as just a romantic situation. The fact that he's married or a mafia boss isn't really coming into play right now. He's going over there because he's wrapped up in the love situation because he's trying to make her understand.
And I think he does genuinely care about her.
He does genuinely. He really
does genuinely care about her.
He doesn't by the end of this. He doesn't by the end of here, or he still cares.
Well, he just realizes that her crazy is there's not a medication or therapy in the world that fixes this kind
and
of
it's
crazy.
Too toxic to him as an individual.
Yeah. You can't fix it though.
As
again, you and I have discussed a person that we both know who there's no fixing that crazy. It's just that's it.
No.
There's no meds, there's no therapy. That crazy is just that crazy. And it's not a chemical thing. It's a personality disorder.
Matt, you can stop talking about me in code. You can just say me now. Come on. It does rhyme. But here we go.
It does rhyme. It does rhyme with your name, yes.
But sorry, Phil Mafia boss confirmed. Oh, poor you. And that's the trigger word. Here it is. Oh,
calls her ridiculous,
gaudy fucking. Matt, by the way, I don't think we've ever been this synced up in time.
I know.
I think we're watching it exactly.
I'm reading the because I have the.
Me too. I have it too. I think
I'm reading as I'm hearing it on your end. Yeah.
Yeah, I would add Steph. Don't wrap your thing around crazy either. It's not just don't stick your D in crazy. Don't wrap your thing around crazy because it goes completely both ways. It's just in this.
It's probably not a good idea to begin with to date someone you meet at your therapist's office. It's probably not.
It depends the context.
I just said the best idea. Probably not the best.
It's tough to meet people these days, Matt. I wish the Lord would take me now, Livia. We got Livia in the live chat. Poor me. Okay, so at this point, it's just the intense situation. She's seeing red and pushing through.
It's fucked up how comfortable he is putting his hands on a woman though. He just does it. It's not.
He snapped into the other Tony Soprano, the scumbag.
It's natural for him to do it.
The sociopath is not far away. There she goes. She said, "I'm going to tell your wife." And she's back. Why is she doing this? Is she just trying to keep him there at any cost?
Because as long as she gets a rush from the excitement, and when the excitement isn't the love, this is still giving her a rush.
She wants this. This is so hard to watch. This whole season has been filled with scenes like this, really intense, emotional, real life engagement situations, and this is just as hard to watch as the Ralphie scene is earlier in the season, as the scene with Mustang Sally and Bobby Sr.
You mean Paulie, the real Paulie?
Yeah, the real
Paulie
Paulie
from Rocky.
Uncle Paulie. Happy birthday, Paulie. that Paulie, right? The worst thing Sylvester Stallone ever did was take out the robot romance in his re-edit of Rocky 4. I was very disappointed by that. Like come on, Sly, don't listen to the haters. We need Omnibot and Paulie. Happy birthday, Paulie. We need at least the happy birthday, Paulie. So Tony kind of realizes that he's being used there, I think. And ultimately, as you say, loves her and doesn't want to kill her.
He also can't. I don't think he could live with himself for killing
Gloria,
like a civilian, a female civilian that he was in love with. He can't do that.
I love what the Sopranos Reddit has turned to the entire world of Sopranos interaction. Like the Reddit community of Sopranos has influenced the entire Soprano fan community by I love the random quotes in the live chat. Now listen, I don't like that kind of talk. I think someone threw in the live chat when I mentioned the money and the bird feeder. Bird feeder? What are you, demented? Like Soprano fans know each other where they go now, just because anytime someone passes away now, you'll see that meme with the
Jesus Christ one.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, did you hear that Neil Peart died? Oh my God, Jesus Christ. I mean, oh, here we go. Okay, well, before we go, I don't want to get past the scene. They get in. Jackie Jr. goes in, even though he doesn't want to do it in the last minute. They pushed in with the crank. Shut up, Sunshine. Shut up, Sunshine.
That's the line. You guys know who you're robbing?
Christopher doesn't know who it is yet, but he makes him. Victory has 100 fathers, but only shut up. He made him right there. Right there, he made him. Okay.
Why would you come out of the bathroom there?
And why would Sunshine keep talking after that?
If you can keep your head while those around you can't, then
Dude, I'd almost shoot him too. What the fuck, Sunshine? Shut up. And then it pops off. It's on. Christopher and Furio basically get the best of it, even though Furio does take a bullet. And their getaway driver fucking drove off. So they're on their fucking own. Jackie Jr. surprisingly gets away, but this other dude is just stuck.
This kid's great with his panic here, where they're just fuck.
What the fuck you do? And the way that they narrow in the camera perspective there it's just really well shot. As Jackie Jr. gets in a car here and totally because from his perspective, you go, what a dick, he doesn't stop, but he sees the other guys coming from driving towards them. So you don't see the perspective of probably oh no, he doesn't. He just doesn't stop for his friend. I'm wrong. He just doesn't stop for his fucking friend. What a dick.
No, it's fucked up. And right here, we're fuck. This is so.
We're with Ralphie. We
didn't know you were in there, I think he says.
No, he says we're with Ralphie. Oh, no. Yeah.
No, he says that, yeah.
No, we're both right. Yeah, please. Please, you're lucky you got off that easy. Yeah, is this prick really a doctor? It's close. I'm a prick doctor. That happens right.
Fucking Zip Furio. That's one of the best lines when they're hanging out. It's not these guys though, is it?
No, it's right here. It's right here. It happens.
No, that fucking Zip Furio is the line when they show up and the guy's in his underwear.
Oh yeah, and
he's like, these guys suck each other cocks, but I think they're talking about.
No, those are those other two dudes. The dudes we were talking about earlier.
It's Bevilacqua and his buddy.
And his buddy, yeah. And it's interesting what one season difference is with Furio, what they did with Furio early on, and then what he becomes after season 4. When he becomes Carmela's love interest, and they make him chiller and stuff like that. After this point, Furio changes a little bit. No, close. I'm a brick doctor. Again, The Sopranos is always funny, but this is the height of the witty dialogue that they have.
Oh yeah. Can you give him a bulge?
Fuck you. Okay, so Christopher knows it's Jackie Jr. obviously at this point.
I'm gonna be back in 1 second.
Yep,
Phil.
take your time. Oh, sorry, wrong camera. So Tony doesn't want Christopher to kill Jackie Jr. right away here. And this starts a sever between Christopher and Tony that ultimately ends in, spoiler alert, Christopher's death. And it's interesting. Ooh.
What happens I decide, not you. Now you don't love me anymore, that breaks my heart, but it's still fucking bad, because you don't gotta love me. But you will respect me.
See, Gandolfini just completely grabbed me. I don't usually just fall into what I'm watching, but Gandolfini is just so captivating on screen. And that's a moment that gets repeated. Sometimes they show that clip of Tony speaking out of context of Soprano episodes of what's happening in that moment. But I think it's very important to note that moment as the first big sever between Christopher and Tony, where Christopher makes reference to this later on. I think in season 5, maybe it's season 4, but I know it is later when he's talking to Adriana that I second guessed him once on some Jackie Jr. shit and things have never been the same. They do have moments where they connect again and get closer, but no more than this. This scene that we're about to watch right here between Ralphie and Tony, it's very interesting because it's a scene where Tony is basically telling Ralphie what he wants, but they're both trying to almost get the other one to be the one to take care of the Jackie Jr. situation. Because even though they're talking about giving him a pass here, he's never had a chance of getting a pass. They just are both shifting blame of who's going to deal with the situation, who has to deal with this situation. It's a real.
Well, this was also Ralphie bitched and whined and complained and moaned forever to be made captain.
Yep.
Forever. And I'm here listening whenever you're ready. And only reason he's in there is because
someone died on the shitter.
Yeah, he died in the not Gigi.
Yeah, it was Gigi. Gigi
died in the Pichot.
So this is a great scene. I think again, Joey Pants and Gandolfini play really well off each other, and it's all leading up to that scene that we're going to see in season 4. One of the most incredible fights on The Sopranos, right up there with the Bobby and Tony one from Soprano home movies. That's really incredible too. So this scene right here is just Tony using, again, Ralphie against himself and outmaneuvering him through.
So what if Ralphie said, "I'm going to give him a pass," and stuck with it though?
Tony would have. If Ralphie tried to do that, you see what happens. He almost tried to do that. And then everyone's giving him shit and undermining him.
Well, I think there's someone else then. Does he know if that's the case that then Ralphie loses?
He loses cred.
Well, and more than that, people may stop listening to him. He'll lose money. Like, he'll lose his crew.
Yeah, he has to do it. He fucking has to do it. And Tony knows that. And Tony knows he doesn't want to be responsible for Jackie Jr.'s death.
And this line right here.
Took this kid under your wing. Like,
no matter what you do, you cannot blame yourself for this.
You, Matt, 100% this is your fault. I mean, this is no way. And this is absolutely.
You did the best you could making sure this kid.
Yep. Matt.
You schooled this kid the right way.
You did the best job with every student.
And then this. The gun that he took off him from the club. I believe this is
yours.
Oh,
by the way, here's this gun. This is yours.
You were doing such a good job of schooling the kid and keeping his nose clean.
That's my Uncle Tony. He killed me, but that comes much later. Hey, there will be no many saints talking. No, I'm kidding. That's
Tony is son to Zooey Ralphie. That's amazing.
Americus is killing it in the chat today. I'll show you guys are. And Ralphie, knowing he just got fucked hard by Tony right there, manipulated, his tongue up his ass right there.
Is he maybe the biggest, like, sociopath of all the main Sopranos characters?
Yes.
Like, I don't think he has an actual, like, empathetic bone in his body where he actually cares about him. Silvio cares about his family. Bobby cares about his family.
Tony cares about animals.
Tony cares about animals. He cares about his kids. He does. He cares about his girlfriend, in some way.
He cares about Carmela, kind of.
Christopher
cares about being a art.
Christopher isn't like
Christopher cares about.
Christopher's not outwardly just a douchebag to people for no reason.
If he's not in that kind of mood.
Even the scene in the bakery. Like,
I'm thinking that's exactly what I'm thinking of the bakery scene. Like, not.
He did get fucked over in the bakery, though. It wasn't like unprompted.
Right.
I'm not saying it was
and
justified,
he did ask.
But he didn't do it to do it.
Right, and he did ask Not Vito to leave. He didn't do it in front of Not Vito. He didn't bring another civilian into it.
Yes.
Cheese grater, yeah. Jackie Jr. had to go. He went against the family, shot a made man, and killed an associate. He fucking had to go. He did, and neither one of them wanted to do it, so they were trying to shift blame, and Tony won the shifting contest. And, okay, we get into this scene right here. This is the scene I was talking about earlier, that she was waiting. She was waiting for this moment to be able to just slap that giant fuck you dick right across Tony's face.
You think Tony knows that he has to eventually not give him a pass, right? He knows that.
Yeah.
He knows that Ralph is going to come to the conclusion that he can't give him a pass, I think.
Yeah. He's hoping that Ralphie does the right thing and takes it off his responsibility.
I think he knows he has to, because Tony can't. If he does give him a pass, Tony can't live with that, because then the people are going to be pissed at him, because they're going to be like, well, you're the boss.
Yeah, Tony would have to.
He can't say, well, I left it up to him. They're going to be like, well, who the fuck are you leaving it up to him?
No, Tony would have to take responsibility himself and do it himself and get his hands dirty, and he doesn't want that.
Furio or Christopher would kill Ralph.
Yeah, or he'd unleash them. He would let Furio and Christopher do Furio
do what they wanted to do, which would be
hunt down Jackie Jr. and kill him, because they all know where he is.
Right.
Christopher shot the guy in the foot as payback for Tommy shooting him in Goodfellas. That's true. It happens. Spider. Dance for me, Spider. But he also gets shot in that movie, too. Like, Pesci shoots him in the next scene. Spoiler alert for Goodfellas, I guess. Okay, so this is this is one of my favorite Patsy scenes. Right up there with him pissing in Tony's pool. This is just Patsy doesn't get a lot, but this actor, when he does it, kills it. Like he really sells like the awkward, uncomfortable, but then flips to threatening really well.
Yeah, it's so weird because you never see. Although he was the one that came in and told Tony that she was on the phone.
Stay the fuck away from Tony Soprano. Shut the fuck up and listen. It's over.
This is again a very classic Sopranos line. Matt quoted it earlier.
Off these fine
leather seats. And this is the important part, Matt.
My face.
Is the last one you're going to see, not Tony's. It won't be cinematic.
We understand each other?
And
it won't be cinematic.
In fairness, like, he gives her this again goes to your point, as fucked up and as a sociopath as Tony is, he does love her enough to not just have Patsy take care of it right there. Give her one last warning. Unfortunately,
yeah, and I mean, again, at the end of the day, there's like a mafia code. You wouldn't kill a
civilian like that, but
a civilian woman in particular.
But you could say
unless you're this asshole.
You could say that this event led directly to her deciding to kill herself.
Yeah, but what was his other option? Besides get a time machine, there's no other option.
But get her a house on a hill by a tree.
Like, get her committed. That's it.
Yeah, get Melfi involved.
She would have hung herself if he got her committed. Like, it wouldn't have mattered.
So we got the Roe and speak, as you said, son of a bitch thing. We have Ralphie and Roe's relationship, which again, fortunately, is on a short fuse right here. It doesn't last too much longer because I want her. Get her away from Ralphie as she's having to deal with her son going away and disappearing.
The only one fucked up and toxic enough to deal with Ralphie is fucking Janice.
They're perfect together.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I would say, keep Janice away from my boy Bobby. Like I feel.
100%. Yeah.
I feel bad for Bobby.
He's the only one that had never killed anyone.
Yep. And then he would have been fine in his position for the rest of his life. But being with Janice made her push Tony to give Bobby more responsibilities and put him right in Tony's crosshairs and got Bobby up to that third in command position, which made him a target at the end of the series.
Yeah.
So as Carmela is thinking about her real estate license, this is sort of hinting at the spec house stuff that's to come.
But this is also what I'm saying. When he tells her, you got to learn to live on the good stuff. Learn on the, live on the money that isn't from crime. And this is her way of doing it, which is fucked up because how is she going to pay for the spec house with money that comes from crime? But,
right. She doesn't think things through. And again, it's...
Yeah, if you were Ralph, you would have stayed with Ro, but I think that, that's the problem is Ralphie's...
Oh, that's our good friend.
Oh, it's Brendan Davis. Nice.
That's Brendan Davis in the live chat. Great to see Brendan Davis in the live chat. A good friend.
It's the live motherfucking chat.
The live motherfucking chat. Paulie had a system for making the egg salad. He would slice the eggs with a razor thin so they would liquefy in Carmine's mouth with a little oil. I love it. Oh, we do have a voice.
I mean, it was a good egg salad. It was too many onions.
It was way too many onions. That's what Paulie said. Different Paulie, but that's what Paulie said.
Totally different Paulie.
Totally different Paulie. That being said, was De Niro gonna kill Melfi when she came to show up to get the dresses? I don't know. And then we get this very interesting scene with Patsy after the fact, showing his normality as. This is just such a well-layered episode. I love the music at the end here. I shit on season 3 because I think
you do.
I do, and on this rewatch, it's been a lot better. I'm forgetting how much I enjoy the episodes in season 3. It's just the arc I don't necessarily like because it was hamstrung by a death in a cast member, and I wanted to see that. I wanted to see the end game of that storyline. So I miss it from season 2 into season 3. So it takes a little while for season 3 to get going. But once it gets going, this back half of these episodes from we're not going to hit next episode yet. We're just going to stop it.
I think a big shame, though, is no Junior in that episode.
Oh, yeah, no Junior whatsoever. Zero Junior.
But no AJ, so there is the trade-off.
That is better. That is better. Okay, so let's listen to Patsy clocking out of the Mafia. We have a voicemail from Jay. Let's listen to Jay's voicemail, and then we'll get into the second episode because I don't want to keep Matt here too late. Here is our good buddy Jay, and if anyone else wants to leave a voicemail, you can at 781-990-8509, 781-990-8509. John Haymaker, I started watching Sopranos season 3. Too much mayonnaise. Too much mayonnaise.
Hey, just one thing. If you get committed, and I don't actually watch this show, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but physically, you get someone committed and they put you in a place where they put you in one of those straitjackets or whatever, then she wouldn't have been able to kill herself. They take away stuff like that,
Okay, so are you saying is there another plan that he could have had to sorry.
And
you got cut off for a second.
And one of those jackets that you really can't get out of. I forget what they're called.
But you need a straight jacket unless you're like David Copperfield or Houdini. Or no, that's bad. That's bad. Didn't Houdini? No, Houdini. Houdini died from someone punching him in the stomach. No, that's an old wives' tale or something.
Then she wouldn't have been able to commit suicide. And on a side note, hey, Phil, if you're in season 3 of Young Justice, make sure you watch the after credits. There are after credit scenes in season 3 and 4.
Awesome.
All right, later.
Thank you, buddy. And I will definitely check that out. But it's our last time we see Gloria, except we see her in a flash, in a dream sequence, I believe, at some point later on. But great episode of The Sopranos, and one of the season 3, right from the point.
No Silvio either.
Yeah, no Silvio. Everyone's in this next episode.
No Paulie.
No Paulie. No Paulie, no Junior, no Silvio. Just Tony.
No AJ.
Tony, Carmela, Meadow, Patsy, and Christopher and Furio.
Gloria, Christopher, the whole Jackie Jr., Ralphie.
Yeah, in this next episode is very much a AJ-centric episode in a weird way, even though it definitely has other things going on. So let's not waste any more time and get into the second episode here. Our second episode is season 3, episode 13, The Army of One, the season 3 finale.
Oh, tell me when we're doing this.
Okay, we'll get ready. I got it set. I think. Wait, let me. Oh, there we go. Let me get on the page. There we go. Okay, so as I was saying, I think season 3 really picks up in the middle half, and then we get some of the best Soprano episodes ever. Like, obviously, we talked about this last time with Pine Barrens, coming off one of the single greatest episodes in television history. These 2 episodes do not let up. And before Pine Barrens, we get a whole line of really amazing episodes with the Ralphie,
just Ralphie in general,
and then the Mustang Sally stuff with
I forgot that's this season.
Yeah, that's all this season.
The single best one episode actor in this show, hands down, is performance by him.
Okay, so everybody, if you're ready, put your fingers on the play button. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, then go. Here we go, Matt. Let's see if we can get anywhere close to where we were last time.
That was so good.
Dude,
flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, we did. We're never going to get that close again. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm perfect again.
Are we perfect again? Yes! I love it, Matt.
I got a new setup, and this is like having it on one computer.
This is so much. This is so much better. This works so much. Matt, Garth, this shit. I'll be right back. I just gotta run to the kitchen and grab a drink.
Oh, I love Garthing this shit. Okay. For those of you who aren't as old as me and Phil, that's a Wayne's World reference. Jesus, I hate when unpronounced. I can't do it. Yeah. So. Weird ending to this episode at the end. It ends with Corrado singing, or Junior singing, which is amazing. It's probably it's a great send off to all of seeing the younger generations that have no connection, don't understand a word of Italian, and the few like older guys that still have that know what he's talking about. I don't even know. Do you think Corrado knows all the words he's saying, or he just has like learned it in a different language, Phil?
I don't think someone like Junior would take the time to learn the words, or to learn the meaning.
He's just singing it.
He just heard this song because he liked it. And
no, my mom's the same way. My mom knows songs in Greek that like she doesn't know what the words mean.
Yeah, I mean, I know songs that I sang when I was a kid that I don't know what the words mean either, like in like Hebrew words or whatever, or some Italian songs and stuff. But I think that it's interesting that they wanted to find an excuse to let him sing, because he definitely has a great, kind of voice.
And it is also an interesting concept. Like I've lived it, because I'm like 3rd generation or 4th generation of the Greek side of my family that was very Greek. Is like watching it slip away generation for generation, like knowledge of things that happened, or knowledge of like the original culture.
I was trying to remember if this was the AJ pool party situation, or if this was the dumb fucks where they pee in the fucking like.
This is not the pizza scene, which is one of the.
This is not the Lady Gaga scene. Did you? I didn't. We might not have known at the time we did that episode, but Lady Gaga was in that pool scene as
one of the kids. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was one of the extras in the pool scene. Now that you know it, when you watch it back, you'll be able to spot her.
I'll know who it is.
Yeah, you'll be able to spot her. Johnny Sack with tears down his face. He just launched a website.
I love these 2 idiots back to back, like showing one idiot making one decision and the immediate consequences. So it's showing AJ right there doing the dumbest thing he could and the immediate consequences.
To the dumbest person as well.
Which is like, well, this is what happens.
And Matt, that's a big element of this episode, is the parallels between the 2 of them. Similar, as I said, to the Meadow in the stripper episode, where and here's our Wire cameo. Rest in peace. This actor passed away not too long ago. Fans of Boardwalk will know him from Boardwalk Empire as well, and many, many other things. He's a very talented, amazing actor. Omar is coming.
Brendan, I'm the exact same way. My grandfather could essentially speak Greek. My mom could speak like a 3-year-old, and I'd know, the words I know, and that's it. I know more than a normal person, but like I can't speak it. I know how to call food certain things, and I have the right accent with it.
God, I love Nucci. She's amazing, and I love the contrast of this scene from when Tony was bringing Livia here, Like Olivia's screaming and losing her shit, and like she's like, "This is so beautiful. They're gonna be singing songs over here." And Polly, our good buddy Polly, let's get those Polly fucking emojis in the live chat. Fucking Polly Walnuts. They don't eat snails, do they? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My son, my son. Do you think at this point in the story, Matt, David Chase had already planned to have her not be Polly's mom?
I don't know, because this it's such a weird dynamic that he has with her, where somehow his validation as a human being on this earth is to, like, because he's not married, is to do this for his mom. And that's all he talks about. Like, that's such a point of pride for him.
Yeah.
Is taking care of his mother.
To me, I feel like it was probably more along the lines of they wanted to do something with Polly, and the actor had made it specific that he wasn't going to be a rat, and there was only so much that they could do with the actor himself. So like the only thing they could do would be create a story where she's not really his mom. I don't think it's something that they probably planned out. I think at this point they were probably...
No, the biggest disappointment, Phil, for you as a huge Scrubs fan is that, like, we never saw her as Gumar again.
Yeah, friggin' Carla.
Carla, is that her name? Yeah.
She's also on Oz.
She might be like the hottest Gumar in the show, by the way.
Oh, Matt,
I love Carla.
Matt, I think I screwed up your camera. Oh,
no, that's just me. I'm here if you can see me now, but...
Oh no! I screwed you up. I gotta move you. Wait, sorry. You're fine. There you go.
This is one of the most. I don't understand how How does no one call him on this bullshit here that he pulls?
How do they know? Like, how would they fucking know, Matt? Like how would you know if I was lying to you? If I said,
because don't you think that Sil would just say, "Hey, we were at a sit down"? I
mean, seriously, like, think about the logistics, Matt. If I was like, "Oh, Matt, we got to end this stream right now. Joe just texted me. He needs me to go help him feed his cat."
Well, listen, if Joe was going to make the final decision on whether or not
he'd rather talk to you.
$10,000, that would be different.
Oh, I was gonna say Joe would rather talk to you. He talks to me too often. Like, if it was between talking to both of us.
Right, I haven't talked to Joe in ages, so yeah.
In fairness, you didn't.
This is the best acting Vito does in the whole show, by the way.
I almost wish Ralphie stuck around longer, because him and Vito have excellent chemistry when they deal with each other. Like, Vito almost likes how sick Ralph is, and you almost have a feeling that, like, I don't know, that they have a very weird dynamic.
Oh, because he's also very abusive to Vito, but Vito doesn't give a shit.
Everyone's abusive to Vito. I see some birds flying.
Let me ask you this. Vito that shows up to build the fucking ramp, is that this Vito?
Yes, that's this Vito.
I know it's the same actor. But
no, that's this Vito. I think he only plays two characters. The guy in the bakery is not Vito. Everyone else is Vito.
So Vito is really a construction guy, which we know that carries through the arc, because he's doing.
Yeah, when we see him with Finn, like, he's sitting on the construction lot.
Yeah.
Joe needs help dumping.
Well, no, and at the end when he's up with Johnny Cakes, he's like, he has a job as a handyman. It's like what he's doing.
If Joe needed to dump a body, I think he'd call me, because he'd be afraid Matt would rat him out.
Yeah, definitely.
He would call me. I mean, I'm not saying he wouldn't. I think he wouldn't trust Matt not to do the right thing, where he knows he could get shadier with me.
I mean, 25 years ago, I would get shady with Joe. Joe and I would definitely have done that, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, now if Joe randomly called you and said I had a dead body, like,
no, I'd have to get divorced. I'd, like, lose my house and shit. No, I'm good.
Exactly. If he called me, I don't have anything.
Not to help Joe, like, lose. I'm not going to lose that for, like,
right.
Joe.
I'm already divorced. I don't have much to lose at this point. If Joe called me for that point, I'd be like, oh, 3 square meals a day. What? Like, that's the worst I'm looking at. So Jackie Jr., like a fucking moron, decides to call Tony and be like, what's the difference between me and you?
Now, here's the thing. I think if he hadn't watched... No, but I guess he wouldn't have done this otherwise. I was going to say, like, a few months ago, I think he takes that call from him, but he's seen all the other stupid shit that he's done with the gun, with selling ecstasy.
Matt, I think it's even more simple than that. It's wronging Meadow. It all comes down to like him being.
Yeah, but I think he wants Meadow wronged. He doesn't want her Meadow with Jackie. Oh no, because he catches her at the strip club. And
Right,
shit.
like
You're
at first,
Okay, right.
at first he was like, maybe Jackie can do this. If Jackie had treated Meadow kindly, not done it and just sort of treaded water with that sort of shit, he would have been all right with it. It's like once Meadow's done with him, his ticket is gone.
This is such a good right here.
We got
I don't apologize.
We got the amazing Why So Curious in the live chat. Toast to you, my friend. What have we talked about this? You're gonna give him a pass, right, Matt? Meaning you should.
The important thing is whatever happens.
Yeah, the important thing is
that it's done in a timely fashion.
Like, kill this fucking dude now. Why are you wasting time? If you make me do this myself, you're in shitload of trouble. Because
well, the longer he holds out there, Tony looks like more of an asshole.
Yep. And again, I want to go to Tony does not want to get his hands dirty. He wants to push this responsibility on anybody else.
Time out. Tony also knows that this was 100% created by Ralphie.
Yes.
Jackie Jr. isn't doing any of this shit without Ralphie. Ralphie has been chirping in his ear about like giving him a gun, doing all of this other I love AJ. I love AJ just getting his fucking comeuppance right here.
getting
with a kid who actually looks like he should have been fucking Italian.
Getting destroyed by Peter Ballsack here. Like totally getting someone like
Ballsack. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Did you ever watch your sister's graduation video?
Michelle's?
Yes.
No, I was at the graduation, I think.
Okay, there is a graduation video at the end. The last thing that's on the video, because it was done in the cable club, is me turning to the camera and going, he actually signed it. Ballsack signed it, and that went out over public access. Like,
no.
Swear to fucking God, dude, I'm not making that up. Like, it somehow, whoever edited it, let it in and didn't cut it, and Mr. Reed didn't stop it, and it totally said, it went under public access for weeks and weeks with me saying Ballsack signed it. I like Craig and Alan like remember it clearly and stuff too. So I know I didn't just make it up. Alan would call me out on that if it didn't really happen. I love this scene. Corrado Soprano beat cancer and this motherfucker's laughing at us. We just flashed to like Corrado like scratching his ass and stuff. Like the genius of Corrado Soprano. Junior might be my favorite character. Like in all the many times I've rewatched The Sopranos, it bounces around a lot, but my most consistent thread is Junior's the best character. Like Junior just is amazing. He's besides Tony.
He plays his descent, the slow descent into his like
madness. And
what's the word I'm looking for? It's not amnesia. It's his descent into
dementia.
Thank you. His descent into dementia, perfectly.
And
the last scene with him and Tony he just goes from like this level of Corrado to the like we did when he says you and my brother used to run North Jersey. It's amazing.
And it's so goddamn believable. And yeah. as Why So Curious in the live chat says, Junior is such a hater, but I love him. I'm not a cat. I don't shit in a box. He's got some of the best one-lines in the entire series. Yep, it's so good. Bobby is truly a character. Jackie.
And that fucking prequel ruined no one more than it ruined Junior. Made him like I hate that fact that they did that to him in the prequel.
Yeah, Junior and Silvio were done the worst in that prequel.
Well, the way that he did a shitty thing that Junior wouldn't have really done. You know what I mean? Like it turns out he was the asshole behind the whole thing.
And Jackie Jr. playing Scrabble is one of my favorite scenes. Ass, poo. This is another great scene. This is another great scene too, where you do get to see that Jackie Jr. has a good person in him inside there somewhere. He's nice to the kid, like he's playing chess.
Yeah, he was nice to AJ about football and shit.
Yeah, he helped AJ with football. Like, there's a good person buried inside of Jackie Jr. that probably could have been like a counselor at a summer camp or something like that.
It has Ro as a mom, you know?
Yeah, but no, he gets shot by a fat guy in sandals,
in see-through socks.
See-through socks. And the most sly I'm sorry, but it always cracks me up. Like I get the sort of stealth approach in the mafia world of the Sopranos, but like the fact that like Jackie Jr. is so dumb that he doesn't see Vito sneaking up on him.
Right. How do you not feel that behind you?
Like, no offense, this isn't about size, but like I feel like that's one of those things that gets shown more in TV and movies than the reality. Like when you go into someone's room, like TV and movies, when someone comes into a room and kisses someone while they're sleeping and that person doesn't wake right up, I'm like, what the fuck? Like in reality, the person always wakes up. They wake up when you walk in the room. No one like sleeps through that shit. I mean, some people do, but you know what I mean. Most part.
No, my wife does. She sleeps through, but not if someone kisses. She'd jump out of bed. But yeah.
You know what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Just to get into Meadows' pants. He's like seducing her through Scrabble with poo and ass. In fairness, having her getting manipulated by like the freshman scam where the RA picked her as like his like Noah, Mr. Gonna kick Tony's ass. So, okay, Christopher and Tony, I talked about this when you went away. We got the foundation, the initial break, the fracture of the egg of Tony and Christopher's relationship in the last episode, when he didn't immediately let Christopher seek revenge on Jackie Jr. And their relationship, honestly, is never the fucking same after this point.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think it is. Like, well, let's take this from the point forward and see. Who the fuck, but more importantly, Matt, who the fuck ate Tony's lo mein?
That's a fucked up move. Georgie, probably.
Who has the
Oh no, they're at Satriali's. They're not at
not at the strip club. Who has the
they are at the Bing.
Then it was Georgie. Then it was Georgie. Who has the balls?
Yeah, look at all that Budweiser in the background. They're at the Bing.
Yeah, so who has the balls to eat Tony's lo mein? You're right. It's fucking that idiot that's gonna get his ass kicked again by Tony. So Paulie immediately uses this as an opportunity to jump on the on the Ralphie situation. I almost wish that Tony actually killed Paulie in that episode. Like you can see how Paulie, I love Paulie. He's an amazing character. He's incredibly entertaining. The show would not be anything without him. But in reality of the real world situation, like we all have those people that hang out in our groups that are this person. But Paulie's an annoying fuck. Paulie is if I was really in this world and I was one of the dudes hanging out in the Bing, Paulie would annoy the living piss out of me. If I was Christopher, I would have killed Paulie. Like coming into my house, sniffing my girlfriend's panties, like that kind of shit. Like everything he does, like I would have fucking killed Paulie, Matt. Like I would have, or I would have been killed. I would not.
I was gonna say no offense, but I think Paulie could have taken you.
Am I Christopher in this situation?
No, because I think Christopher could take you too.
Oh, Christopher would kill me. They all kill me, Matt. I couldn't take AJ. Let's be real.
You could outrun Vito.
I could outrun Vito. I could outrun Christopher. I'm faster than Christopher. Like you know how fast I am, Paulie. I leave you in the dust. I could outrun that fucking Christopher Moltisanti.
Love this. Anytime AJ gets hit, I love it.
It's a new regime in this house, Matt. It's corporal punishment. I don't like that Tony hit him, but I love that Tony like takes like initiative here. He's like he shuts Carmela down. He's like no. We're coddling him. He's not turning into Jackie Jr. We're sending him to a fucking military school. I got brochures. Like brochures were huge back then. They still are probably now, but more websites now. But I got brochures. Like he went out there. He got him from Janice because she was gonna send Harpo, and he's sending him to the military school. Matt,
what?
As a former teacher and looking at somebody like AJ, do you think AJ, being AJ who he is, would benefit from something like a military school if he didn't have like the panic attack syndrome that we see at the end? Like, would something like this, is this the answer possibly for someone like AJ?
Phil, I hate when you ask questions like this because I feel like an old man with what my responses are.
What's your old man response?
The school I taught in was there was a lot of discipline in the school, and a lot of the kids at the time they were done were grateful for it. But a lot of the discipline was there because the school was a violent place without it.
Right.
So.
I'm talking more AJ being someone that has fucked off a couple different schools, keeps fucking off in these schools that coddle him, is a military school with order and responsibility.
I'm just not very pro-military, so like I don't think the military thing would be something I'm. Having said that, the ROTC program at the school I worked in saved a lot of kids from getting in a lot of trouble, and they really enjoyed that, like just the discipline it did for them, and the sense of camaraderie and that shit. So yeah, I actually do. I'll say sure.
I mean, I would say I agree with you about, I'm not sure about the military school aspect. I don't think AJ would benefit in a situation like that, but I do think AJ is the type of person in his world, in this world, that would benefit from like a couple of years in friggin' juvie or something.
Structured.
So, like, or I would think even him in juvie or something, like would fucking tighten him up or something, like scare him straight or something more structured. If we're talking about school, something very rigid and structured and like with focus on discipline.
Yeah, but Phil, he's doing shit that like you would have done.
I would not sneak into a school and steal a test. He's doing shit
that a lot of your close friends would have done.
We made cheat sheets. We didn't break into schools and steal tests.
Really?
Yeah.
A friend of yours from California?
Okay, maybe he did. Maybe he did.
Wouldn't have done that? Of course he would have done that.
Okay, maybe he did do that, but that's beside the point.
Well, and he honestly probably could have used some military school, or juvie.
Yeah.
So.
Tulka says, I liked middle school, AJ. What the fuck happened? He's going places. The hate is so deserved. Olivia did him worse than her own son, says Why So Curious. Again, I'm going to remark this again. I feel like I have to keep saying this just in case. We're talking about characters, not real humans. So I like to say that AJ deserves all the fucking hate. He deserves this shit. He deserves like everything Tony's doing to him in this episode. I support. I love it. It's entertaining as fuck, and I love seeing AJ get shit because he's
Brendan Davis. I agree with you. Phil is downplaying the rebellious behavior of our youth. 100%. That's what I'm saying.
Especially our kid. Yes, Brendan and Matt were both with me in many awkward, crazy situations where I was not always the brightest person with authority figures. Let's say that. I used to be known for my quick mouth because I didn't have a stream to babble on. So this vitriol had to come out somewhere. But it's weird, Matt. Like I was also quiet too. You remember me in elementary school where I was more awkward and shyer. I would say I was, like when you knew me in elementary school.
Yeah, certainly awkward. We're not gonna. I don't think shy is the word, but yeah. No, you weren't like. You don't like. It's like in middle school is when you decide to just be a fuck for being a fuck for the sake of doing.
Yeah. Plus with the Landman situation with our middle schools, like we had a very crazy, like we were crazy fucks, and there was there was crazy shit going on in the resource rooms and shit that I was in. Anyways, David Chase's Livia was based off his mom. I definitely see some connections to my own mom with Livia too.
Does she really have an NSYNC poster on her? What a loser.
She does have an NSYNC poster. Ugh. I guess that tracks though. Wouldn't Meadow of that age be a fan of Justin Timberlake and NSYNC?
In college? No, with not poster level.
Yeah, you're putting a poster of NSYNC in your college, like some hippies smoking weed in your room making fun of you. Someone's like, "What do you got a fucking NSYNC poster on the fucking wall?"
I'm trying to think. That time period, early 2000s, late 90s. What?
Fish.
What poster would a college girl have? I don't know.
Fish.
Not her.
Bullshit. Meadow would go to one hippie show and she'd be smoking weed and going to every hippie show and fucking touring around for a summer break. I could see Meadow going full gathering of the vibes. Bye 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 bye. Shyness is a disease. That was the biggest thing when I was in elementary school that they would always tell my family when they would come for their meetings. They'd be like, he's too shy and reserved. He doesn't make friends. But I made friends.
No, and Phil's family in general is not shy and reserved.
No. Not my closest family members, which obviously, I don't have like a immediate family, but my cousins who are like my brothers essentially, like Alan, Craig, David, Gotti, like they're all very outgoing individuals when you meet them in public. Like all four of them are, and my cousin Emily and Peter as well. They're all
and they're all and the first four he named are all older than him, so they were the ones he like looked up to, and they're all.
They're all very.
This guy's awesome, by the way.
He's great.
This guy's amazing.
Yeah, his dynamic with AJ is perfect, and I almost
Even
feel
with the parents, the mothers never do. Like
Yeah,
she's like, I don't like this. The mothers never do.
Matt, do you mind if I smoke here? You know, and
It's so old school. I love it.
Yeah, I almost feel like Peter Weller RoboCop could have played this part too.
Yeah.
But it's just very like the old man or friggin' Locke from Lost or something like. And just AJ, like the way he just rips into AJ and AJ's whole like, what do you mean like? Is it like? Yeah, Meadow would go cross country on a bus selling shrooms. I could totally see Meadow going full with Hunter and going like full touring, thinking she's gonna sing in a band, like she's singing in like this artistic rock band of some sort.
Didn't we see this movie? It's called Forrest Gump, right? She's Jenny.
She could be very much Jenny. Jenny. Is Jackie Jr. Forrest Gump in this situation? Is Jackie Jr. Forrest Gump in this situation?
No, Jackie's not smart enough to be Forrest Gump.
Come on, Ralphie. I shot him and I was running.
I didn't mean to ruin your Black Panther party.
Oh, fucking Jackie. Angry Tony is my absolutely favorite look. Look at the passion. I got on the screen a technical difficulty sign right now with the core. Why so curious? The core.
I love this. What is it? His only question is, what does 0530 mean?
Is that your? And I love how he calls him on that too. He's like, "That's your only fucking question." Jay says, I don't imagine you being shy. I'm more shy in, like, if you put me in a large group of people, like I'm shy in the group of people, you put me in front of the large group of people, I'll be a fool of myself. Like, again, elementary school, like an idiot, I sang the national anthem with my voice cracking in our, like, third grade talent show or whatever it was. I'm not afraid to embarrass myself in front of a group of people. I slipped on a skateboard in junior high school in front of the whole school at a dress rehearsal of a fashion show. I'll make a fool out of myself big in public. But if you put me in a group of people, I can sometimes be quiet. I'm strangely quiet sometimes in larger groups.
The weirdest thing here is Tony would totally suck in military school.
Oh, Tony would fucking fail. Tony couldn't even handle. What do you have? One year of junior college or something? I'm surprised he played sports. I'm surprised he made it.
He wasn't a varsity athlete.
He didn't have the makings of it. No, he never did. I love how natural that stuff flows in. Again, thank you, the Reddit Sopranos community, for so naturally bringing in every Sopranos meme and quote into natural conversation of every Sopranos episode ever. So again, this is just an amazing scene. You said it, Matt. This actor kills this little performance. It's a little performance, but this guy's I'm on the Sopranos.
He's so believable as this guy.
Yep.
And the weird thing is, I don't even know who that guy is. I've never met the head of military school, but I'm if I did, that's what he would be.
Yeah, he'd be that dude. He'd be that dude 100%. Oh, we got the amazing Jackie C in the live chat. Lots of love to Jackie C. He never had the makings of a varsity athlete. What the fuck, Junior? Stop. It's one of my favorite lines in The Sopranos history, too, and one of the most quoted lines. And I love Carmela in this. Edie Falco. The Sopranos, it's like an embarrassment of riches. Again, it's like Zeppelin, where all four players just destroy it on their instrument. Everyone in this scene is killing it from an acting standpoint. No one's Tony's whole this army of one thing. I was thinking about it from his own selfish standpoint of his own crew. Carmela's what about planting a tree? What about peace? I don't believe in this shit. And then the dude's just yeah, the mothers don't. He's smoking a cigarette Leisure Suit Larry after getting a prostitute. He's just yeah, okay, I'm gonna be taking.
That guy is so canceled in 2023, though.
Yeah. Oh, The Sopranos is in 20. Come on, Tony is too. Come on.
No, because those guys are still like that.
Do you agree with Carmela or Tony in this argument, Matt? It's tough. I silenced Matt. It's tough.
No, I don't believe with Carmela. I'm always but I don't have kids. That's why I'm terrible at this shit, because I don't.
You have dogs.
But yes, and I would like to think I was gonna be like, I had visions in my head.
Do you spoil your dogs, or you you have a solid, firm hand with them? And I'm not saying be mean to them. I'm saying, when you initially train your younger dogs, did you train them with a firm hand?
I did, but I've regretted it as they grew older and I got to know them. Like it's like I always in my head my envision of how I was going to be with my dogs and then how I actually was totally different from each other. I'm way softer than
I spoil the shit. I'm a weakling.
I do too.
I'm a weakling.
No, I try to train them only for the sense that like they get to lead a better life if they're well trained. They get to go more places. Rosie can be off leash literally.
If I ever had a kid, Matt, if the kid was like a self-motivator, like they would get nothing but positive energy from me, but I'd be afraid I'd fall more into I wanted to be their friend and I'd be wishy-washy and let my kid be 100% lead the way. I'd be more like Carmela.
I think too, I would be like
I don't think I could be a mean
my grandfather. There'd be some hard ass, but I also thought I'd be like that with like anyone. And I'm
Matt, and again, I don't mean to keep bringing this up, but we both have classroom experience. You were more of a teacher. I'm more of a specialty like educator that comes into a classroom and entertains kids. And the thing that I like is coming into the classroom, being the nice guy, entertaining the kids, educating them, teaching them about music, teaching them about theater, doing my thing, and then leaving the class. Not having to deal with the discipline. I like doing it with a teacher in the room so the teacher can be the bad guy. I'm not good at being the bad guy. I couldn't.
Yeah, it's why I like being an uncle. It's like I don't have to deal with any of the bullshit. I get to be the uncle and then like that's it.
So I can relate to the Carmela and Tony situation because I don't know how I'd handle my kid. They have Meadow, who was self-motivated essentially and handled herself. They didn't have to do anything with her. Give her the fuel to do her own thing. But with AJ, who needs a specific kind of raising to be a successful human, they can't give him because they're both inept. Both Carmela and Tony are equally inept because they're narcissistic people. Inept,
and there's a way that Tony could like make him a man in the way that Tony would like him to be a man.
But that's not right for AJ.
But he knows he wants AJ not to be part of that life. So the only way Tony knows how to do it is like his way, which he doesn't want for his son.
And Carmela only knows how to love, and if her kids get too much success, she gets jealous of them. We haven't dealt with that yet. We're going to deal with it next season, I believe, where she starts getting jealous of Meadow for being looked at in a more intellectual way with the whole Billy Budd situation.
And she's officially hotter than Carmela next season.
Hey, I'll still argue about that. I'll take Edie Falco over Jamie Lee Sigler any day. Yeah, I'm a big Edie Falco fan. I am. She's got me. Edie Falco would have me wrapped around her goddamn finger, Matt. I'm sorry. Anyways, sorry. Jackie says I use crate training, most positive training, a lot of positive reinforcement. If I didn't have my ex to be able to like keep the discipline in, Lotus probably would be. But Lotus at 12, like post a cross country trip, she just started doing what she wanted. We spoiled her. Oh, Janice is in this episode. I didn't know Janice was in this episode.
Oh yeah, don't you remember the end? She's we see the beginning of Janice and
I love
Ralphie.
Yeah, we do, but I forgot Janice giving her CD. Hey Matt, I got my new band with Craig here. You wanna listen? We can play this at the end of the show if you want. This is my song. You want to hear my song, Matt?
What's more fucked up is they're doing it at a funeral. It's like
here's my song at the funeral. This is a perfect song for a funeral.
Tony gives him such a go fuck.
We got Luna. Thank you to everyone that's joining us tonight. If you're in the live chat, we know this is a more specialty audience, but we do appreciate anyone that's joining us tonight. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and help share this along. We appreciate it. These aren't the most viewed videos, but Matt and I passionately love The Sopranos, and we enjoy doing this. And maybe when we're all done with this, 5 years from now, we might go to Breaking Bad. But
and Phil, the other thing is this: I still realize the more I see other shows, the more this holds up. The more this really does. Best acting.
Matt,
I've
have you ever
seen in this show.
Completely non sequitur? Matt, have you ever watched Mad Men?
No, my wife did.
I almost want to force you to do a rewatch Mad Men podcast after we're done with The Sopranos because I think you would like it. It's not like The Sopranos, but it has the same. effervescent.
Well, all I know I can say is this: my wife would leave me for Don Draper at this point. Like I know that because she's seen it and loved it.
Wait till you see Don Draper, you'll know she would never actually leave you for Don Draper. She would just have sex with him.
Yeah, I mean, I might do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's cute. Okay, so this is a great scene. We get to sit down here as they wait for this is the Ralphie sit down, right? Where Tony kind of decides a little bit too much for
the
Ralphie.
main thing you learn though is okay, puts is what he says about the other plays.
I love this. We can do this more. We will do this more. Matt and I we're going to try, and as we said in this, we've kept it up 2 months in a row. We're going to try to do, maybe we'll do more than this, but I don't want to bite off more than we can chew. We're going to do at least one of these a month and get into
Hold on. Before you believe Phil though, we've been saying that for years. But we had a couple of good runs. Then,
until you had your surgery, Matt. No, we were doing it during COVID. Like your COVID actually forced us to do it.
Yeah.
It was your surgery that put the brick wall in us.
I had a surgery and then I had 2 surgeries to fix it, and it's still not fixed, Phil. They never even did the last.
You sound great.
We're like giving up at this point.
You sound great. Good. Give up. Just do the podcast. Just fuck the surgery. Fuck another surgery, Matt.
I can't do a surgery anymore. It doesn't matter. So.
Okay, just do the fucking podcast, okay? Because Paulie's gonna punch you if you don't. Like Paulie's gonna. I don't know what Lord of Savior of my life exists. I don't know what I believe in, but I believe in Joey Pants and Paulie Walnuts in scenes together. Like the two Tony Sirico, they just kill it with each other. Like the antagonism, the tension. Like as much as I love the fate of Ralphie, I would have loved to see a alternate universe that ends with a Paulie and Ralphie fight and see who wins that battle.
Yeah, and neither one of them backs down. They're both equally.
Just from a fight standpoint, if we're doing a death battle between Paulie Walnuts and Ralphie, from what we saw with the fight that Ralphie had with Tony, I think Ralphie kills Paulie because Paulie had trouble like wrestling an old woman, like as in the Russian guy.
Yeah, but Paulie's whole thing with the fucking.
Who wins in a death battle between Ralphie and Paulie?
Paulie's badassery with the guys up in the tree.
Okay, fair. Matt, here's the question. Who wins in a death battle between Paulie and Ralphie?
Not Joey Pants and Tony Sirico, Paulie and Ralphie.
Paulie and Ralphie. The two of those two characters. I say because Ralphie put up such a decent fight against Tony. Like if one or two things went differently in that fight with Tony, he might have been able to take Tony. I don't think Paulie could take Tony. I think Joey Pants has enough.
Yeah, but I don't think he can. Okay, but here's the thing. He only almost takes Tony.
He gets him with that frying pan. The frying pan got him, yeah.
The frying pan and then the fucking bug spray in the eye. Like those two things together.
Holy shit, Matt. I forget how much is in this episode. We skipped over in the last episode Danielle showing up. Like, I love this actress. The actress who plays Danielle. And she's awesome. I wish we got more of her throughout the series. She's really good in this role. Her and Adriana have great chemistry. And this is the introduction of the Adriana about to become a rat. We got live chat. John Haymaker says, Paulie, I got a dime on him. Tilka says, Paulie was a tough guy by rep. An Oberyn Mountain kind of thing. They both die from the wounds. It's like Rocky versus Apollo, second fight.
I mean, do they have weapons where he can, like, if they don't have weapons, Paulie wins.
Americus, that's one of the best lines Joey Pants.
Paulie was in the military, too. He was in the army.
But Joey Pants, Ralphie is fucking, has that insane, like psychopath strength. Americus says, the best line by Ralphie, tomorrow I might be late, but you'll be stupid forever. I love that line. Furio was desperately missed by my person. Tony was in shock. Don Draper cheated as much as Tony Soprano. One of the crew members of Sopranos created, exactly. There is some, just like there's some connection with Ozark with Breaking Bad, like someone that worked on Breaking Bad, like a director created Ozark. One of the main writers of early Sopranos episodes, Matthew Weiner, I believe that's his name. Someone said, Matthew Weiner, as America said in the live chat, went to go create Mad Men. Not that Mad Men and The Sopranos are one for one. They're very different series, very different stakes, but they're both equally as much effort go into making them and wrapping their narratives. Yeah. And there's something very similar to Don Draper and Tony Soprano as not good person you kind of root for sometimes. Unlike Walter White, who I don't root for. Walter sucks, especially in rewatches, and I still watch Breaking Bad, but the more you rewatch, the more you're like, fuck Walter. Walter screwed everything up.
Fuck Walter. The world is like...
The world is
no
worse.
One benefits from Walter.
Yeah, the world is worse because of everything that happened with Walter. And I don't know if you could say that 100%.
You could argue that, like, if someone else was in charge instead of Tony, that...
Would the world be better if Jackie Sr. was the boss the whole time and Tony never became boss?
That's the question. Yeah, who knows?
I mean, I think Tony didn't have the makings of a varsity athlete. I think none of the Sopranos should be bosses. They're too hot-headed. I think everything we've seen about Jackie Sr., he seemed like the right mindset for a boss.
Yeah, we only saw him in a hospital bed.
Yeah, but we got to go with what we've seen. The sleazy FBI dudes drooling on Danielle. Woof, woof. Yeah, they're all like fixing their ties and going good. Ralphie has a lot of devil imagery. Yeah, he quotes "Sympathy for the Devil" through the whole season, on and off, and they just subtly wove it in there, so you don't even realize it. But he's constantly quoting "Sympathy for the Devil" through this entire season.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's a lot of examples of that.
God, I wish he just died right there and never got.
Wouldn't that have been amazing?
That changes the whole rest of the thing. My son. Then Tony really goes off the deep end.
My son has this horrible tic thing. It's a break in your fight-flight instinct. I'm remembering this. I didn't rewatch it right before. I'm amazed at how many times I've watched this that I almost know all the words of these episodes. I'm barely I'm watching and not. I also have the subtitles on, so I'm like reading, but I like know most of the words of these episodes. Partially because, little side note, when I first moved out of my house, when we had my family, when we had to sell the house and stuff, and I moved into that place, Levitt Street, our friend in California's other old apartment. When Alan and I lived there for the whole first year, we didn't have television or anything, internet or television, and all I had to watch was like 2 or 3 DVDs. And two of them were Sopranos season 3 DVDs. So like the last few episodes of this season, I've watched more than any other Sopranos episodes because it was for probably a year and a half all I would watch. I would just repeatedly.
When was this?
In 2005, 2006.
Oh, okay, a long time ago. All right.
Yeah, when Alan, Dan, and I lived on Levitt Street.
Dude, I thought you were talking about our friend from California's parents' house. You're talking Levitt Street.
Levitt Street.
Totally different time period. Okay, gotcha.
Yep, that Levitt Street shit. Yeah, pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name. He totally quotes. I wish I could bring them all up right now, but Matt, I do encourage you and anybody else that's curious about this. There's a lot of
I'll be listening for them now.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good videos too on YouTube and a lot of good articles that point them out that will do it a lot better than me. But there's a lot of sympathy for the devil imagery, as Why So Curious pointed out. Pleased to meet you. Hope I remember. I got a lot of member berries tonight. There was a day in high school where the whole day we were before the internet. Back in my day, when you'd have to like piece lyrics together, not by like looking them up, by just talking to friends in class. And we were like through the day trying to figure out like what the second verse of the Jane's Addiction. But at the time, thinking about it as a Jane's Addiction song, not a Rolling Stone song, what the lyrics from Sympathy for the Devil were between Nick, myself, and a few other people. As a boss, it's funny to see Tony manage his crew's egos. The scene when Tony told Ralphie to take care of Jackie Jr. It is. And is Tony a good boss, Matt? I mean, we're going to talk about this throughout the entire series, but
compared to what?
Compared to Carmine, compared to Don Corleone, compared to other mob bosses that we've seen in fiction. Compared to
I don't think we've ever seen another mob boss with
compared to Gus Fring, compared to
this. Well, Gus Fring's a caricature of someone who wouldn't really exist in the world. Like that's not a real cat person.
Come on.
Tony could absolutely exist, I think, and I think that's the difference.
I think Breaking Bad is pulpy, where and I don't want to get too into Breaking Bad, but where they're playing over. Better Call Saul is more real than Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is like huge, crazy character stuff, like almost where The Sopranos does that a little bit, but there's an element of, to your point, I kind of know people like Tony. The Wire's
or you can imagine that those people, you know, people close enough to Tony were like, yeah, what he does is believable.
Have you ever watched The Wire, Matt?
I've never watched The Wire.
You should. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That's gross.
I know. I tried to, and then my wife had no interest, so I'd have to watch it.
You gotta get past. You gotta get through the beginning. I tried to rewatch it took me 4 times to watch The Wire to get the Wire enough to like it. And once you get it, you get it. It's around episode 8 or 9 or 10 or something. There's an event that happens. I don't want to spoil it, but something big happens and you're like, oh, I get this fucking show. And from that point on, you're all in. But it does start, like, never watch it when you're tired, and give it a few more shots. I think you might like it if you get in.
Oh, I liked it. She just had no interest, so I was like, all right, I'm not.
Okay, fuck. It's the only show that really can be argued is better than The Sopranos.
This is weird here because you see Meta, who hates all of this Goomba shit, defend it right here. It's really a weird.
Yes, you do, and it's interesting that she takes that take because when she's finally put to the test. But in fairness, Matt, there's what you say and what you will actually do when you're put to the test of something. You know, I talk a big game, but when I'm actually put under fire, I really know how to react. When it's an emergency situation, I can be lazy and but like an emergency situation happens, I'm right in on it. And I think this shows that Meadow is real. Meadow's not going to talk outside the fucking family. And this fucking girl, she's drunk and pissed off. And she's ready to fucking shit talk.
Yeah, and she looks like the sister from Roseanne. The daughter from Roseanne.
Darlene?
Yeah.
The best mob bosses were Paulie and Goodfellas and Don Vito Corleone in The Godfather. It was the fuck scene that got me hooked in The Wire. That was a great scene, too. That was a great scene. The Wire is a show that you almost just have to be ingrained by it. It's like the first time you drink beer and you don't like it, and you got to kind of drink it, and once you like it, you're like, oh, I get it. I get it now. That's The Wire for me anyways. Like, it's not as immediately, because it's more about the overall narrative. The characters are feeding that narrative rather than something like Breaking Bad or The Sopranos, which is really about the characters. And what happens is ancillary from what we're really watching for, which is the journey of these characters, which is what makes the show great. It's hypocrisy, Meadow defending Tony's career and blaming blacks for crimes the mobs do. It is. She shows that she's, in this moment, no better than Tony. She instead of being her own person when she's held under fire, is no better than Tony and Carmela. And ultimately, in the end, she marries Patsy's kid, and she probably would have married with Jackie Jr. if he wasn't such a shithead. Like, gone all the way.
So we haven't seen Junior in almost 2 episodes. He, from this point on, just
kills it.
Ruins it. This whole thing is incredible,
dude. It's like
to end the season with like Junior at this high note.
It's like inviting Jackie Mason to your party at the end of the time. He's like, or
right
Don
here,
Rickles.
You've always been a dumb.
Dude's
fuck,
a dumb shit. Dude's a fucking dumb shit, and he's only coming to eat the free pasta. Like that's
and
the only.
He just gets annoyed. He gets annoyed at him here, continually
dunking his sauce and stuff. Yeah, dunking his sauce. He's like, "What the fuck you doing? What the fuck?" But he won't call Tony out because this made me realize again how much I miss Junior Soprano when he's not in the show. Dominic is amazing. He also is the carry through to The Godfather. He was in The Godfather 2, if people don't know, playing what's the character's name? And your Sicilian messenger boy, Johnny Olaf. He's Johnny Ola. He is amazing. Dominic adds so much to this role, and I can imagine no one else except for Larry David playing the character of Uncle Junior. So I like Don Ferrazanto from the Don Father. The Vito kills in the white suit. Oh, the dude that's running the town. So again, I asked this question, and this seems to be getting a lot of responses. So maybe we could do this as a separate video sometime. Who is the best mafia boss in fiction, or ranking the mafia bosses in fiction that we've seen? And how do we rank mafia people? Do we include Don Eladio from Breaking Bad? Or are we talking specific Italian mafia?
And how high up? Like, are we talking about what the fuck's his name from a Bronx Tale?
Okay, Sonny. So,
Sonny, yeah.
So we go in this scene. This starts Paulie not ratting, but becoming this
starts seeing what a.
This leads into the mole joke.
This is so Johnny Sack, though.
Is Johnny Sack a good boss? No, Johnny Sack is not a good boss because he lets emotion into it.
The shit he did between Ralph and Tony was amazing.
Yeah, but once emotions get into it, he screws himself. But this starts the whole weird story arc about Paulie wanting to leave. Okay, I want to talk about this for a second before we get to the end of this episode. The whole thing with Paulie from this point into season 4 is weird. They have this happen here, and then off screen, between seasons, because when we come back in season 4, Matt, Paulie's not there because Paulie's in jail. Between this season, Paulie goes to jail.
Yeah, well, that's because he had back surgery in real life.
Right, in real life. It's weird, though. And it's the second time this happens in 2 seasons where real-life situations affect Sopranos stories. And I don't like it. I don't like I know this can't be helped, but I think it's a little weird. It's a little rough around the edges. Carmine was a good boss. I think Carmine in the Sopranos world is the best boss we've seen. He seems to be pragmatic, firm when he needs to, and bends when he needs to.
Yeah, but he didn't back up Johnny Sack with the whole...
It was a stupid mistake, but Johnny was wrong.
90-pound mole.
On Jenny Sack's ass. Why so curious? It's my biggest fucked up what if. I really would have hoped that... I really wish Nancy Marchand survived through season 3.
Yeah, that's like porn for Phil.
It is. I wanted to see her testify against Tony. I wanted to see that storyline. Livia is one of my favorite characters, and not see the completion of the story and see that horrible fucking shit of the fake Livia that we see in that scene. I still don't know why they fucking did that, but whatever. And I just hate this. Every scene we get, we talked about this in the first episode, Matt. Every scene that we get between these two works. I think it's the best Jamie Lynn Singler is on the show is in scenes with Carmela. Yes, their relationship sucks and is fucking toxic as shit.
But it's reality.
It's reality. I believe, I've seen mother-daughter relationships that are exactly like this relationship between the two of them. And I've seen father-son relationships that, AJ's, but I haven't seen a lot of real-life father-son relationships like Tony and AJ's. I don't know a lot of real-life AJ's. Do we know, we don't have to say names. We know any real-life AJ's? I don't think so.
Not with Tony dads, at least.
No. I mean, we know a lot of idiots, but that have I know a couple. I don't want to say names, but I just thought of one. And that was very much a Jackie Jr. AJ kind of kid that grew up in our neighborhood that went to our elementary school and stuff. Let me see if I can type it to you because I don't want to say his name. But let me see if I can type this shit. Wait, here we go.
This here, these two psychotic fucks.
Yeah, and the relationship between these two are just fucking horrible. Matt, click on where you say...
I see it.
Yeah, that's somebody that could be an example of somebody that sort of went down a route like that.
Yeah, he changed when he got older, though. But
yeah, he did. Wow. He did. Didn't he recently?
It's not even recently anymore. It was 3 years ago, but yeah.
Junior's got a great fucking voice, Matt. There's a whole album.
This is the thing. If Brendan's still here, yeah, you are.
Brendan
talks about how this scene, he's mentioned it before, is the perfect encapsulation of the 3 generations of the less Italianness.
Brendan, by the way, if Brendan's in the live chat, still he is.
He is.
I'm going to read his comment in a second. Brendan, please advertise your podcast. You do great work, and Brendan does an amazing podcast. So please, if you want, please pub your podcast. I'd love for him to get as many people checking it out. Brendan is an awesome individual. My first rock band I was in with Brendan, and he's a smart, amazing, incredible dude. So lots of love to Brendan Davis in the live chat. One of our old times 95ers in the live chat right now. Brendan says, I'd say Don Corleone is the best. Not my favorite, but probably the most effective in a movie or a show. Tony is good, but he does petty things that creates resentment in his ranks. And Tony breaks too many hard rules, like not hitting made men, eventually getting to become a gambling. I'm going to add to Brendan's comment, gambling addict, that kind of stuff. Tony goes too far. So I love Meadow in this scene, Matt. Drunk Meadow, I'm here for it. I kind of like Drunk Meadow. She, like, the oops, I did it again when she's throwing shit at Uncle Junior and shit. I like it. And then this is also supposed to show Meadow's frustration. People that don't, this scene is misunderstood a lot. Meadow is frustrated with the fact that all these people are showing emotional reactions to Jackie Jr.'s death when they don't really care about it. And they're getting...
No, and she also knows on some level they're probably responsible for it.
Yeah, she knows that what that other girl was saying, what Jackie's sister was saying, is absolutely true. And she's thinking, like, when Junior's singing, it's just so fake and plotted. And I kind of feel this way sometimes at funerals, too. And I hope if I die before you, Matt, you guys talk about my shitty qualities at my funeral, too. And not just say,
Can do, Phil.
Thank you. Shit talk me just as much as you say, oh, Phil was good at this. Say, Phil sucked. He fucking, remember that time at the wedding when he got into a fight with me because I wouldn't give him the keys? Right? Like, I think that, we say that a lot, Matt, but I think that was the only time you and I ever got into a fight in the 35, 40 years of friend.
It's a long time at this point.
40 years we've been friends?
It's 35. It's over 35.
Something like that. Like, in all those years, Matt, I think we've only been in one fight, and it was drunk. It was shit-faced drunk at our buddy's after party.
And we weren't the biggest messes there at that point.
No, but you and I were ready to kill each other.
Yeah. I mean, I would have kicked your ass.
I mean, I would have gone to the knees.
That's the thing. You're more of a
prick.
You're more of a Ralphie.
Yeah, I go for the knees, Matt. I'm not gonna beat you in a battle of strength, Matt.
You fucking raid spraying frying pan asshole. I know.
Brendan Davis's Bedrock Gaming is his podcast. I think he does post them on YouTube as well, but definitely check that out. Brendan is amazing. He creates tabletop games, has a company that creates tabletop games. Brendan is an extremely talented and amazing individual. So if you're into that kind of stuff, definitely check out our good buddy Brendan. And we got to get him on at some point. It's been way put up. I check out Brendan's podcast, and he talks about some fun stuff. Dom DeLuise was a mob boss in Oscar. I think he was good. We got Jay Moore. Vote for Jay Moore. Tony's temper keeps him from thinking clearly to be a mob boss. I think his temper, his paranoia, and his narcissism, which feeds his paranoia.
Yeah, but how else do you get to be a mob boss?
Talent. To do what you want to do. Do you think Tony was it's a good question as we're watching the end of this episode and there's not much else that happens other than Meadow leaving here and running across the street as I might have already missed that.
You did. She just did it.
Yeah, and is Tony the same person in the first 3 seasons as he is in the last 3 seasons, Matt?
No, but why would he be?
Because no one's the same person over the course of 10 years?
He was at a point in his life where his kids are growing up.
And he got a new job.
He lost his best friend. He lost a lot of people. And he got a new job, right?
Oops, I did. Thank you, Jackie C., who's one of the greatest mods in all of YouTube, who's already found Bedrock Gaming's channel and shared it in the live chat for Brendan. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we get this crossover, the music at the end of this episode, as someone was pointing out earlier. And this is the end of our episode.
It works okay, except for the Mandarin. The Mandarin's a little jarring.
Nepotism. Tony Sr. had the rep. Was Tony Sr. a better boss than his son, Matt, from what we've seen? Many Saints doesn't count. The other guy, the real Tony Sr., that other dude.
I don't think the real Tony Sr. was ever a boss. Wasn't he more of like a...
Who is the boss? DeMeo? Or the DeMeo crime family? Is that what they are? Like the old man that we only hear about in season 1?
Yeah, I think it was more of
And that's the end of our episode, everyone. If you have any last minute voicemail, we're going to wrap things up here in the next little bit. But if you want to call on in and leave a voicemail or question, now's the time. 781-990-850.
Have you seen this shit online about... Oh, sorry, go ahead. Finish reading the...
990-8509. It's on the screen. People can read it. Go
Have you
back.
seen this shit about... There's been some things on this like Sopranos Facebook group that I don't think it's on the Reddit. It might be on Reddit too. In real life, the only fuckable character from this show is Artie. If you look at pictures of the actor that plays Artie, he's the most attractive guy.
John Veglamidia. Oh, come on. Are you talking about...
I'm saying that's what people have put up. And
I disagree. I think the actor that plays Furio is very attractive.
God, no. He looks like fucking Christopher with a ponytail.
Christopher's attractive too. I think if we're bringing in the girls,
because you're half Italian, you like that.
If we're bringing in the girls, Drea DeMeo.
No, we're talking about guys.
The guys. Okay, the guys on the show. There's something attractive about Joey Pants. Jackie Jr. is an attractive.
No,
human.
I agree with Jackie Jr. for like a younger guy. Yeah, I'm talking about like the older guys.
Okay, the older guys. Do you think? Is Stevie Van Zandt?
No,
is Stevie Van Zandt attractive?
No, Paulie's not attractive.
Some of the girls in the live chat help us out here because we're like
hell yeah, Furio. No, erroneous.
Exactly, girls think Furio's hot, Matt. Girls think Furio's hot. You're wrong about Furio. You're wrong about that actor. Girls think that dude's hot. Women, exactly, John Haymaker. Women love Furio. They do. I'm sorry, I could be wrong. We're speaking in generalizations about non-real characters. Don't get your panties in a bunch. Don't get your balls wrapped up.
No. In this case here, we are talking about actors. We're actually not.
I'm just saying in the sense of like we're being superficial here. Let's have some fun.
Silvio looks like JC. He kind of does. That's funny.
Brendan says The Sopranos is filled with beautiful people. I mean, other than weight and bald, Gandolfini's attractive. You don't think Gandolfini's an attractive individual?
I don't think if you had no idea who he was and he walked down the street, anyone would go, "That's a handsome man."
I think he'd charm you.
Well, that's different, though. We're not talking about
Benny Fazio, criminal mastermind, is attractive.
Sure.
The old guys with the paper bag.
Listen, and I'm not claiming that I think he's attractive. I'm claiming that people, I saw like something that someone put up that he's the most hot guy on the show.
Okay.
So I don't.
Who is it again?
It was some Facebook group, and then a bunch of people agree, and they're like, "Yeah, I'd say once again, he's the only guy."
Who is the guy again? I'm sorry, I'm a stoner. What were you saying?
Artie.
Artie is the most. No.
And then people said, that's why he's so good as an actor, because he comes across.
He's got
he's
got a great personality, but people in the live chat. Is Artie the most attractive?
I gotta find a picture of the actor that plays Artie.
Yeah, Johnny Veglamidia or whatever his name is. Is Artie the most attractive guy in The Sopranos? His charm makes him attractive, definitely, says Why So Curious.
I can't even look up his friggin' name because it's so... God, that didn't even get close.
Say Johnny V. Sopranos. Johnny V. I think Michael Imperioli is the most attractive guy in The Sopranos.
Well, that's erroneous.
That's erroneous.
Erroneous.
Your opinion is irrational and erroneous, Mr. Weinstein. Oh, my God. No. People say no. Luna says no. Stop it. Phil, shut up. This is your worst take ever. We got them all on screen. AJ's kind of attractive, I guess. He's a good-looking dude. And Bobby Bacala. We got Furio. Okay, Why So Curious is Furio greater than Little Paulie, greater than Artie. That's our list right there. I think Why So Curious hit it there. I think you can hate on Furio all you want, Matt, but I
don't hate on Furio.
You're a Furio hater. You hate guys with ponytails. That's because you miss
the other guy.
You miss your ponytail.
It's not Steve Sciarippa.
It's not. It's definitely not Steve Sciarippa. I love you, Steve Sciarippa. I want you on our show. I want Steve Sciarippa to join you and me on one of these. He's the only guy we could possibly get. And I want Steve Sciarippa on this show with you and me. But it's not Steve Sciarippa. When Artie fought Vinny Del Pino, it was the battle of the hotties, says Tokus. Artie could cook.
That's funny.
That is great. Yeah, Matt's a hair hater because he used to have really long hair and he misses the ponytail.
No, yeah, I know. Now I'm like gray and going bald.
Yeah, but don't you miss it? You miss the long hair. You miss.
No, I don't at all.
Yeah, it's you don't miss getting your hair caught in soup. You don't miss that kind of stuff.
I mean, it wasn't the first thing I missed, so
it wasn't the first thing that you thought of. Okay, Matt,
right.
I've kept you here 2 hours and 30 minutes. I should let you go.
No, I'm into it. I'm glad. I'm so happy we're done with season 3 finally.
I know we're finally done with season 3. We'll get into season 4.
Did we finish season 2? Like,
yeah, we finished everything.
No, but season 2, like we did that at your house in Salem. That's
yes,
how long ago
yes,
that
that's
was.
how long ago it was. We did it with Craig and Alan and my cousin Pete. They all came by.
That's gonna be 5 years ago.
Yep, we got to do that again. We got to find an excuse one time you're down here and get together and do it all in person and stuff too. I know.
Or you all come to Vermont.
That's a possibility too. I would definitely which I want to come up and visit you in Vermont. Come down and visit you in Vermont. I mean, and
no, you'd come up.
No, it's up. And we would definitely do it. I bring a computer and we do a podcast. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Artie could cook private better than Bill. I mean, it's a tough choice because of unibrow and overweight dudes. Jackie's having trouble deciding on this show. Silvio looks like Jay-Z might be the comment of the night. It's like that. I can't unsee that. I'm like, oh yeah,
I know.
I'm like,
it's
yeah,
weird.
they totally do.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they don't at all. But like, you don't look at them and think it. Once someone says it, you're like, yeah, I kind of see it.
No, I kind of see it. Okay, last call, everyone. Last call for alcohol. If you're drinking, pour your last drink. Now's the time. Everyone, thank you so much.
Pour one out. Listen, we're gonna pour one out for Jackie Jr.
Jackie Jr. Who else did we lose? Who else did we?
We didn't lose Gloria yet, but we don't see her again.
Who did we lose in season 3? Like all of our big deaths in season 3. Jackie Jr., Livia. Is there anyone else that I'm?
Bobby Bacala's dad, but that's not really
Mustang
a big death.
Sally. That's not a big death. Pussy is in season 2.
Pussy's in season 2.
So I think those are our big deaths. Are we missing any big deaths in season 3 of The Sopranos? Oh, what's his name on the Pissadoo? On the Gigi on the Pissadoo.
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. So let's pour one more drink to all of our lost Soprano characters. Matt and I will be back. I know we're already in February, but maybe towards the end of February, in like 3 weeks from now, we'll be back for the first episode of season 4. We're going to go back to one episode at a time rather than 2. But Matt and I will talk about that. But I think one episode works best for these. But we'll see.
All right, I'm going to give you a quick rundown, Phil, of
Do it.
people who died in season 3.
Tell me. I want to hear it.
Episode 1, Livia Soprano.
Drink.
Episode 2, Fabrizio Febi Viola, but I don't know who that is.
That fucking dude. Drink.
Oh, no, I don't know who that is. Episode 3,
Drink again.
Mustang Sally.
Drink again.
Carlos.
Fuck Carlos. Who's Carlos?
Carlos is the guy that Bobby Bacala's dad killed.
Who's Carlos? Okay, that dude. Drink. This is all one shot. I keep sipping.
Tracy. Oh, Tracy.
Tracy. She was a whore. She was a whore, Matt.
She was a whore.
She wasn't your guma. She wasn't related to you. She was a whore.
Episode 7.
Drink.
Gigi.
Vodka and wine, Jackie C.
Episode 8 was Sunshine.
Okay, again, last time, Sunshine is a dumbass.
Not episode 8, I'm sorry, but he was the 8th death with Sunshine.
Sunshine, dumbass.
Carlo, who's the guy, one of the guys who was mugging him.
I'm on meth.
Dino, his idiot friend. And then Jackie Jr.
Okay, so, Matt.
Notably absent from here, though, is the guy who killed the Czechoslovakians.
Yeah, or
the interior decorator.
Because he's not dead. So Matt.
Right. So that's still left up.
Matt.
Yep.
This raises the last question. Who is the dumbest person that died? I say Sunshine, even though Jackie Jr. is an idiot.
No, God, no,
Sunshine's a fucking moron.
He made a dumb mistake.
Shut your mouth when you're nervous. Shut your mouth. She was a whore.
No, Mustang Sally.
No, Jackie C. It's just the quote on the show. Tony, I killed her, but she was just a whore.
She was a whore.
No, Pyomai dies next season, John Haymaker. Spoiler alert.
He does. Yes, that's next season.
Yeah, no, she was a beautiful creature. You just fucking killed her. Which I can't wait to get to. I'm actually that's the thing I'm most excited for season 4. 2 things I'm most excited for season 4. Whitecaps, our last episode when Tony and Carmela, or a second to last episode. I forget where it is. Whatever. What the episode Whitecaps and the episode that Tony and Ralphie have their ultimate situation. Why so curious? My mother was a whore. Sorry, I love the way Ralphie says that word. So, everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This has been a ton of fun. I will be back on Pyomai was a whore.
His father was a mother. His mother was a mother.
A mother was a mother? A mother was a mother, Matt?
Do we have any? Hold on, that's a question. Are there any Seinfeld and Soprano crossovers? Is there anyone who was in both shows?
Of course, there. Seinfeld and Seinfeld and The Sopranos. Was there any crossover?
Any person that was in both? I don't know. I'll think about it for next time.
Not that I can think of.
Because I have a pretty big.
Her mother was a mother.
Seinfeld,
are you a fan of Curb as well?
No, I never really watched Curb. I've seen Seinfeld 1,000 times.
You should watch at least, I forget what season is of Curb, but there's a season of Curb that deals with a Seinfeld reunion that brings back all the.
No, whenever I see clips of it, and the episodes I have seen are hilarious. They're like R-rated Seinfeld episodes.
Yeah, but I would specifically watch that season because all 4 of the principal actors come back and they actually act on set. You get at the end of the season a little clip that's a reunion episode, so to speak, with Larry. There's a moment where Larry David plays George that he's based on. It's really good stuff.
Amicus just came up with it. There is actually the scene, although it's not Seinfeld technically. Oh no, it is, because he's in the scene where he thinks that him and Bob.
Oh, he's watching Curb.
He's watching Curb. And Larry David is technically in Seinfeld.
Yes, as Steinbrenner, as a guy on a
as the guy with a cape on the street.
The cape on the street. Yeah. So technically, yes, Larry David is on an episode of The Sopranos.
Yes, that's so funny. That's amazing that's how he gets in there. But yeah, you're right.
But Larry is the best. Larry David is probably the person on earth I find the most funny, which is crazy. But Larry David and Eddie Murphy are the 2 people I find on earth most funny.
Someone just said Cosette deserves better. Listen,
Cosette deserves
my dog
better.
Last night, my new dog Phil, she loves to just curl up. If you lie on the couch, she gets between you and the edge of the couch. I woke up and I was almost on top of her. She was panting. I was like, oh my god, I almost Cosetted my dog last night. It was awful.
But bye Tywin. Listen, Tywin, Shay was just a dirty whore. She must have crawled underneath there for warmth. Yeah, Cosette deserves more. Poor Cosette. When are we gonna get to Cosette? When is the Christopher? Is that season 4 as well? Is the Christopher Moltisanti?
It's not 6. It's gonna be 4 or 5.
I think it's 4. I think it might be 4. I can't. No, it is 4 because Tony B isn't around for that. So it has to be 4 because season 5 is the Tony B season. So I'm pretty sure it's season 4. Season 4 is, in my memory, when I go back and think about things, season 4 is one of my favorites. So I'm excited to get back to rewatching that. So before the end of February, probably the last week of February, Matt and I will be back to do, if you're good with that, Matt, to do our next episode.
It's during the week. Sure, I just got a lot going on the weekends in February, but I never do. This month I do.
If not at the very beginning of March. So we will be back for the first episode of season 4. And I can't wait to get back into it, everybody. So, and Joe and I will be on this Sunday night for The Last of Us. So make sure you're subscribed and joining the fun for that. I'm also going to be starting a Oz retrospective very soon. So, doing similar things that Matt and I are doing for, The Sopranos for us. For us. Sorry. As I tried to say. Matt, list how many animals died next time on The Sopranos.
I know. No one this season, I don't think.
No animals died. Yeah, exactly. All the animals die in season 4.
Yeah.
What says it was just so exciting to find out that David Chase likes Aphex. Tywin, that's enough talk about that. Yeah, that's enough talk about that. Blame her owner. Larry David is hysterical, says Brendan Davis. And when Junior is going through early dementia, it is great. Matt, before we go.
No, he's saying that early dementia is when he sees the Larry David thing.
Matt, before we go, we have to end our poll. Our poll was, we got, a great amount of votes tonight in our poll. Thank you so much for everyone that voted and everyone that joined. Our poll tonight was, how dumb was Jackie Jr.? We didn't get the results yet. For some reason, the results didn't come on screen. They should come right away. But 60.
I see them.
Oh, you see them? I don't see them for whatever reason. Let me see. Oh, I see them now. Okay, I had to refresh. 60% of the people say he almost drowned in
3 inches.
3 inches of water. 30% of the people say kind of dumb, but not too bad. And some people say 10% of the people out of the 30 votes. How many people, Matt? Do some math for me.
3 people.
3 people. You fucking 3 people. What the fuck? Come on. I put that in as a joke. Who voted that? Who voted he's misunderstood? He's a moron. I'm kidding. I love you guys too. You guys are awesome. Poor Gigi. He deserved to not die on the fucking toilet. He did. He absolutely did. Maud Mary. Good to see Maud Mary in the live chat. But Matt, thank you so much for joining me. As always, I will talk to you next month when we have our forced hangout. I feel like I have you up against the wall, so I get to hang out with you every once in a while when normally...
I know. Season 4, great season.
It is. Season 4. I know we're going to get eventually into Season 5 that you're not the biggest fan of because you don't... You're a Tony B hater. I can't wait to get into that shit. But we got to get through the Season 4 and the breakup between Tony and Carmela. This season's very much about Tony and Carmela's relationship. And I can't wait to get into it.
It's hard to be a Tony B hater because, like, as a director, he was great.
He was great, and it's hard to just. And Steve Buscemi is just awesome in general.
Right. It's hard to yeah.
So, and again, we'll get to that when we get to 5. But that's the toughest part I have, Matt, where I can't always separate my love for Steve Buscemi with the character of Tony B.
Yeah.
And holy shit! Before we end things, we have a super chat donation by Luna. Thanks, Phil and Matt, for next time. Brendan Davis, Matt is a dirty Tony B hater. Luna, thank you so much for that super chat donation. Let me play some drums for you before we go for that super chat and then take a shot. Okay, there's only so much you can do with the box drum. But thank you so much for that super chat donation. That means more to me than you realize. And here is a shot for you for that super chat as well. Okay, once this ends, I'll be continuing my rewatch, motherfuckers. I'm not stopping. You guys should keep going. I would keep going, but Matt has to go, and we got to go. But we will be back for next time. And Why So Curious, thank you so much for popping on in here. Brendan Davis, SM Down, Maud Mary, John Haymaker, all of our friends, Luna, Americus, all of our friends, Watt. You guys have been amazing tonight, keeping this.
Even all of you females who supported the Furio love.
Oh, stop being a Furio hater. You just hate the ponytail.
Love Furio.
You're a ponytail hater, Matt. Stop faking it.
Had one myself. How could I hate on it?
Because you miss it, you motherfucker. You miss it. I love you, Matt. I'll talk to you guys next time. I'll be on live on Sunday. Love you guys. Talk to you next time. Peace.
Come on Sunday. It'll be cinematic.
It's gonna be cinematic, Matt. You're gonna have to look at my face. You're not gonna get to look at Brendan Davis's face. You're not gonna look at Jackie's face. You're gonna have to look at my face, Matt.
That's the point.
You're gonna look at a fucking Adriana, you motherfucker. I was watching the whole time. You were on the TV and the Sopranos on my iPhone. That is awesome. That is amazing. I'm live on. We were live on the TV. The Sopranos were relegated to the fucking phone, where it should be, Matt. No, thank you guys for joining us, for giving us an excuse to hang out. You guys have been amazing tonight. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Talk to you guys in a couple weeks, in a few weeks, 3 weeks. Matt, I'm old.
Little two-piece strip.
I just hurt my back.
Dancing like an idiot.
Yeah, I totally hurt my back.
Tell me you're 45 without telling me you're 45.
I know. Tell me I'm about to be 50.